Duke Sorfel was the head of the Sorfel family. Once upon a time, there lived a foolish woman. The girl asked her father to help her. She was hated, considered a villain. At home, she was mocked. A woman who knows nothing but cruelty. Even the cause of her death is laughable. Brother's revenge. Ravi Sorfel is the second son of Duke Sorfel. It's a shame she died because she was caught up in a brother's revenge. The woman asked how the two of them dared to attempt on the life of her eldest son. This sin is too great to turn a blind eye to. She ordered them to be taken away. Once again, the man standing before her put an end to this unfortunate story. Rudville Sorfel was the eldest son of Duke Sorfel. She told her brother that she did not want to kill her and asked him to save her. And then she woke up in horror. This time, the death was especially bloody. Well, at least it wasn't the guillotine. The main character asked her granny what she thought Granny said that she saw her, but she didn't understand why this dream hadn't let her go for 20 years. It was completely incomprehensible. The girl asked her grandmother if she knew why this was so. After all, her grandmother was a ghost. She started seeing ghosts when she was 5, when her mother died. A ghost with his head twisted off a particularly talkative ghost. A ghost with difficult to distinguish outlines. There were many of them. She saw many scary creatures, but was never afraid. If she is not afraid, she will not be touched. Broadcasting company, a studio. The man asked the girl to wait and stop. The scene was filmed. Miss C.A. was greatly appreciated for her work. It was a productive day. There was no fault with her work. The lady was grateful. The man was so pleased to work with her. As expected from a professional, with her status a national-level actress, a top star, the owner of the best fees. The description is striking in its appearance alone. Lee Si-ah began building this career at the age of 14 and continues to this day. Ji-hyun called the lady. The lady was surprised when she saw her. Thanks to her, she had a nice time. Lee Si-ah asked her what she was doing here. She thought Ji should be in her home. She arrived in Seoul today, and she came to thank her. Ji was grateful that she sent a wreath for the funeral. She was able to say goodbye to her grandmother properly thanks to her help. Lee Si-ah said it was nothing because she was just worried about her condition. They say she can predict fate. I never thought she could foresee her grandmother's funeral. In fact, she came to her house. She begged her for help, so she simply had no choice. If only she knew how many nights of sleep she lost because of the request. Although she couldn't help Ji-hyun, she's her old colleague. Their manager also came yesterday. Ji said that as she asked, she dug around near the persimmon tree in the west of Grandma's garden. Lee Si-ah asked what was there. She found money and a letter in the box. It turned out to be a will. Grandma had rewritten everything in her name. Lee Si-ah said that she seemed to be good at finding treasures and remarked that she was lucky. She was glad that Ji had found everything because at least all of Grandma's lectures were not in vain. She lived with abusive parents and worked several jobs to take care of her younger brother. Granny regrets leaving them so much. The girl said that she would then go to the waiting room and thanked Ji. She wished her luck with today's shoot and noted that she would make a sweetie out of her tomorrow's. Grandma was grateful and asked her to continue to take care of Ji-hyun as well. Lee Si-ah was shocked that she left. They had to prepare the lady for the next shoot. New outfit. All these problems had exhausted her so much, she wanted to rest. Maybe Lee Si-ah could even get some sleep, unless she had that dream again. She didn't understand why she kept having it. A girl who tragically dies over and over again. Lee wakes up at the moment of her death. Suddenly, the girl opened her eyes and did not understand why she could not wake up. Someone was looking at her. She needed to wake up, and quickly. Right now, Lee didn't understand what it was. The dream always ended when death occurred. She saw the girl dead for the first time. Her head was spinning. Lee said it was time to go, but the girl said she had another hour. She had never been afraid of ghosts, but those eyes were full of rage and sadness. The man noticed that the lady was a bit early and asked if she wanted to start now. The girl said that it wouldn't be bad. The scene where she shows up at the main character's birthday party, as his partner, solving all his problems and taking care of him like his secretary Lee, thought it was not difficult and she could handle it. Suddenly, the chandelier shook. Everyone was confused as to what was happening. The chandelier fell right on Mrs. Lee. The man shouted to call an ambulance quickly because Mrs. C.A. was bleeding. The girl didn't understand what had happened. This face looked exactly like hers. All her life, these ghosts had been bothering her, and she didn't want to believe that she would die now because of one of them. She screamed for them to forget her. The main character screamed to forget everything she said, because ghosts don't harm people. She was shocked when she looked. C did not understand why her body was so light. Sai was shocked that her face was fine, and she had no bandages. It seemed like a chandelier had fallen on her, and she was already starting to think that it was all an optical illusion. When the girl saw her face, she realized that she had seen it in her dreams. A man came to her and said that he had ordered her to come down for breakfast and asked if she thought he was joking. This guy is Ravi Sorfel. She already thought she was still asleep. She was Camilla Sorfel, Lady of the Duchy of Sorfel. Ravi asked again why she was sitting. The main thing was when I didn't understand who gave him the right to yell at her and give orders. Every time she sees him, she wants to do something because of her inferiority complex. He tried to kill his older brother using Camilla. He's the second son of Duke Sorfel. Camilla swung and hit the guy. The main character always wanted to give him a punch in the neck because he's a bastard. If someone had seen this dream almost every day for 20 years, they would have done the same as the main character and hit Ravi. Camilla and Ravi's mother married the Duke after divorcing her first husband. The boy became the second son of the Sorfel family. He had some talent for magic, but it was nothing compared to his older brother Rudvil's skill. Because of his inferiority complex, Ravi became obsessed with the desire to kill his brother. To quench this cruel thirst, he decided to take advantage of his sister, to whom no one paid attention. Ravi called her an ugly duckling. The main character's blood boils every time she sees him dragging Camilla into his dirty deeds. Sai wanted to punch him in the face at least once. Ravi was horrified and asked how dare she. Camilla immediately burst into tears, apologized, and asked her brother what she had done. She said that she thought he was still asleep. The main character understood that he couldn't do anything to her and would just stare at her in confusion. She said she was asleep, which meant he was without help. Ravi thought it was unlikely she would have hit him if she was in her right mind, because she barely even talks to the maids. He told Camilla to change quickly because they were late. He never cares about her. Only the Duke is worthy of his attention. One way or another, he will die with Camilla anyway. But CA didn't know if she was still sleeping. Even in her dreams, she always saw the story from the first person. But before that, she couldn't do anything of her own free will. Hit Ravi, for example. The girl believed that in this case, it was somehow connected with her ghost, which she saw. Rudvil's place is empty, so this is the period of time when the rebellion arose in the western region. One day, Rudvil returned home with a great achievement. This became one of the reasons for the development of an inferiority complex in Ravi's. It will be very problematic if the main character cannot wake up from sleep. CA had died so many times oppressed by the cold gaze of those eyes. If she stayed here, she would die again. The Duke said they were late. Ravi immediately began to ask for forgiveness with fear. Camilla said that she couldn't sleep for a long time last night, so she overslept. The Duke sensed something was wrong because she was usually silent during meals. The maid had everything ready for the lady. For a long time, Camilla was subjected to bullying by some of the maids. This continued even at the dinner table. C wanted that girl to laugh while she could, because it would be her last chance. Camilla called her father. Since she came late, she wanted to do something for him. The girl said that she cut the steak so that it would be convenient to eat, and she wished her dad a bon appetit. Ravi thought that she was definitely not fully awake. The Duke agreed. When my father tried the meat, he was in complete shock. The nets are spread, and this is a very important moment. And then Camilla suddenly stood up and told Dad to stop and not to eat it. She apologized and said that she would take it away and eat it herself. Father asked Camilla if this was the first time she had been brought something like this. Camilla was silent. Now that she can behave as she pleases, the bullies who bullied her will definitely get into trouble. The main character believed that she should tell her family why Camilla always ate so little. The Duke said they would talk about it later, after they dealt with those who managed to blacken the Duke's name. To save his reputation, he will kill his own child if necessary. And Dad, you're a good boy. A week later, the main character already understood that she could not get out of here, but she did not understand why, and believed that she had died and fallen asleep forever. Or she's in a coma. A maid came into the room and greeted her mistress, Sorfel Donna. Donna is the faithful maid of the house. She heard that the lady had been eating almost nothing lately. Camilla said with a smile that she had no appetite. After the incident in the dining room, the Duke ordered the kitchen staff to be more careful about the food they served her. And the girls who bullied Camilla were fired from their jobs without any compensation. All she has to do is wake up. Camilla said she'd eat later. Donna said she'd missed so many meals already. That the boss himself came to her. Pomela was shocked that he was here again. During the week spent here, the girl noticed another difference from her previous dream. The boss brought a pie, which he was 100% sure of, and this time the lady would definitely like it. He heard that she didn't finish it again. The man said he would come back when my lady ate it. The ghost screamed at the chef and did not understand. How could he possibly think that someone was fit to be his student? The ghost called him trash and the scum of culinary society. The maid asked what kind of tea Camilla wanted, and the ghost continued to scream that you should always think about the people you cook for. In her dreams, she looks at the world not with her own eyes, and Camilla does not understand why she can see ghosts. Fabler Academy. The man asked if he knew Camilla from the Sorfel family, who always follows Pedro. There are many rumors. Another man asked if he thought he had heard about them. They say she stole his handkerchief again and got caught. She was always weird. He said he wouldn't be surprised if people started calling her Lady Fake. The guy said to watch your language, because you can't talk like that about the Duke's daughter. Suddenly, the blonde noticed someone. They immediately said that they had to go the other way. The second guy didn't understand why. He asked if he knew that guy, because he is known for his bad character. One of the children of the third generation of ducal families. Named Arshan Sephra, he is the eldest son of Duke Sephra. When he first tasted the food prepared by his teacher, it was as if an unquenchable fire had lit up in his heart. The boy thought that if he learned to cook something equally incredible, it would bring him happiness. The apple pie his mentor taught him is the foundation of any chef's life. However, then he noticed that the lady had not finished what he had prepared. He called her Lady Fake, too. He thought he was pretending to know something about cooking. He wanted to tell her to eat what she gave him. The chef said that he heard that I didn't like the last dish, so he brought this one. He thought she should be grateful for just the chance to taste art. He put his heart and soul into that apple pie. The ghost repeated that he had already said hundreds of times that Camille did not like apples. It was Sorfel Pierre, the previous chef in the family. There are a lot of rude people in show business, so CA is used to it, but she doesn't understand what kind of ghost this is. And he's so loud. Camilla agreed and said she would try it. She took a piece, but said it was not tasty and she would not eat it. The cook didn't understand how this could happen and asked if she knew what kind of pie it was. The recipe was given to him by his mentor himself. He was the chef. She said it was missing 1 gram of cinnamon. Apple pie is a basic dish for any cook. He cooked it incorrectly, but still brought it and asked him if it was okay. Doesn't he really care who eats it? And Camilla doesn't like apples. If no one wants his dish, then it's no different from garbage. His mentor had said the same. The boss had said he would be back soon. She had remarked that she wished he would leave too. The chief asked if she was telling him this and was horrified that she was seeing him. CA said that she didn't know anything and was going to bed. The chief said it was true. The other ghost asked him to calm down and tell everything in order. The chief got him going that she definitely spoke to him. The man asked if Camilla had addressed him directly. This was Sorfel Darren, the previous butler of the house. The chief asked what lady because he was shocked that he still considered himself a butler. The man said that they were dead, but that did not mean that they had lost their personalities and memories. What happened was really strange. She had never behaved like that before. She didn't ask if he was sure it wasn't a coincidence. The boss said that she definitely looked straight at him. In that case, they can only wait. Fortunately, they have plenty of time. He suggested playing chess. The boss said that this time he would definitely win. A few days later, Camilla already understood that this was a serious problem, and it looked like she wouldn't be able to go back. The girl did not understand how she could survive this and what to do at all. And then she became determined. The main character decided that she needed to take care of her reputation first, despite the fact that Mila didn't help Ravi with Rudville's murder. Because of her false testimony, no one would even listen to her. And of course, nothing could help her, because she was mocked every day. She definitely needs to mend fences with Hertz's Sorfel, but she doesn't know how to do it or what might influence his opinion of her. The boss asked if she could hear him. He asked her to turn and look at him, because she had tried to talk to him earlier. If only the main character had woken up in Camilla's body before she grabbed that girl by the hair. The chief continued to be sure that she saw him. This was starting to annoy her, and she asked what it mattered if she saw him. They were so annoying to her. The girl said directly that if they wanted her to act on their behalf or solve their problems, then no matter how great their regrets were, she could not help them and would do nothing. The butler couldn't believe it, but the cook was happy. The lady understood that they weren't even listening to her. If this went on, she would soon become a ghost too. Pierre asked if she saw how he did it, and the butler tried to stop him and asked where his manners were. Camilla didn't understand what to do and how to please the Duke. The ghost said that if she needed to please the Duke, then she should come to them. They knew everything. The butler said that he had worked here back in the days when the current Duke was not even in the plans. Pierre has the same story. And in childhood, the Duke was a picky eater. It was even funny, and he asked if she wanted advice. The Duke remarked that he had not been here for a long time. There he noticed Camilla. He was shocked and hoped that she did not want to destroy the flowers again like last time. He doesn't know why she needed it, but one day she stirred up a whole flower bed of roses. Of course, they could always plant new flowers. A misty garden was a different matter entirely. The Duke grabbed Camilla. He asked her with a shout what she was doing there. The girl said that she was picking flowers. This surprised the father. Camilla said she collected them to decorate his chambers and asked him if he liked them, these misty flowers. The Duke asked again, and Camilla confirmed it. He was in complete shock. Her dear father, the Duke must accept his daughter's mercy. Camilla was upset and asked if she had guessed wrong. Her father told her to do whatever she wanted. The lady said that she would collect them and take them to him and thanked Dad. The Duke's late mother loved misty flowers. She planted them in the palace garden and cared for them for many years. That's why these flowers took a special place in the Duke's heart. The ghost asked if he liked them. Camilla thought so. The Duke's gaze. There was none of the usual coldness in it. Maybe it wouldn't be possible to mend the relationship right away, but she knows she's moving in the right direction. It's time for the next step. A week later, the man told the Duke that Rudville was making an increasing contribution to the development of the duchy every day. It was Jector Duke Sorfel's right hand. It's just amazing. He handed over all the necessary documents. Everything is listed there. He called the gentleman again because he did not speak to him. The Duke looked at those same flowers. She really did put water with flowers here. The Duke asked Jactor how Camilla had been eating these last few days. He had nothing to say and said that he would find out immediately. Rub knocked on the door. He said that he thought it would be appropriate to serve the food now because he was planning to go for provisions. Rube is the butler of the Sorfel household. Jactor reported that he was just in time. The Duke asked him again why he froze. So Rube said that there was nothing wrong and asked him not to pay attention. This taste and smell reminds Duke Pierre. He asked if Gerald could finally recreate Pierre's soup. But Rube told the gentleman that Gerald had not prepared this. Camilla had prepared this soup for him. He was shocked that Camille had made the soup. That taste, the golden color, and the exquisite aroma, just like Chef Pierre's soup. It was completely unclear how she did it. Gerald asked in horror how she managed it. It was very simple, because Pierre made it himself. After they talked to the ghosts, and the main character was able to move freely, Camille allowed the spirit to enter her body. Pierre died suddenly, and Gerald said he never learned the recipe for his soup. Camilla told Gerald that they had a bet. He liked her soup and she won, and she asked if he remembered what he had to do. The lady asked why she still had to look up at him. Her neck was already hurting. He didn't understand how she dared to tell him straight to his face that she could cook better than him. The chef said that the lady would simply waste the products, and he himself suggested a bet. If she surprises him, he will do anything, even get down on his knees. Finally, the man admitted his defeat and knelt before his mistress. Camilla was very pleased. The butler asked Pierre if he wanted to say something. Pierre thought that something good had happened. He even began to worry. Camilla said she wanted to know something. She has been seeing ghosts for over 20 years, and in that time, she has learned a few things. None of them help for nothing. Camilla thanked them for the misty flowers and the soup, and said she felt she would need their help again someday. In order to survive in this world and save Camilla's reputation, it is possible to fulfill the last will of two ghosts. The girl asked the two to tell her what they wanted. And immediately the ghosts laughed. Pierre said that he only wanted to cook. The girl decided that this most likely meant that she should set the table and hold a memorial ceremony. Nothing can make him happier than someone's love for the dishes he prepares. He was very grateful to her for letting him feel it again. She figured there was no point in interrogating them if they didn't want anything. The butler said that it was the same for him. If he could help the Sorfel family with his knowledge, then that was happiness for him. He was glad he could make the Duke smile, just by reminding him of the misty flowers. With her help, of course. The butler was grateful to the lady. Camilla did not understand what kind of people they were, and why they were so good. They only regret that they didn't bring as much benefit as they could have. The strange thing was that they liked being used. The girl said she understood what they meant. This meant that there were no special requests that she could fulfill. Since they were willing to help for free, she needed to cooperate with them. Camilla asked them to take care of her. 10 days later, Gerald was in complete shock that she even knew this recipe. The lady confirmed it with a smile. After that incident with the soup, she began to cook every night, and the man would kneel again, and Pierre was happy that he could cook again. The chef simply did not understand how she got such a beautiful color. He did not believe that she could find his mentor's secret recipe book. And the way she carried herself, she knew her way around the kitchen, like she'd been working there for decades. Gerald just couldn't understand how that was possible. Gerald asked if he could try it. Camilla said it was leftovers if he wanted to go ahead. It was just a mashup. He did everything the same way, but he couldn't achieve such success. The result was still different. The lady asked if it was tasty, to which Gerald replied that it was not bad. He was clinging to the crumbs that remained of his honor. Camilla asked him if he wanted the recipe. He immediately agreed. After much argument, she told him to be a good boy, and maybe he would be able to win her favor. Gerald apologized and asked, "What if it was like this?" The lady told him to take his hand away from his face and ordered him never to do that again. Rub asked the lady if everything was ready. Camilla said that it would only take a couple of minutes and asked him to do everything in the best possible way. Camilla turned and asked if Gerald's knees hurt. He told the lady not to worry because he was strong. Rube didn't understand at all how she had tamed this arrogant guy. He didn't know what caused it, but Lady Camilla had suddenly become so interesting. The butler couldn't understand why she had changed so suddenly. He knocked on the Duke's door. He ordered him to come in. He said that the lady called him to give him snacks. She was even prepared for the guest's visit. The man was shocked that he wanted to say that she had prepared all this herself. The man noted that the taste was incomparable, but he had no idea where the lady knew such recipes from. It was truly incredible. Everyone was just jealous of the Duke. He told her that there was no need to bother so much, but she did not listen to him. That's why people say, "A daughter in the family is a great happiness." Another noted that this is absolutely true and very tasty. And Rub was wondering why the gentleman had rescheduled the meeting for another time. He simply wanted to show off his daughter's skills. Lady Camilla had been nothing but trouble before, and it was unclear when she had come to her senses. He assumed she had become ashamed of that incident. What happened at the last party to do something like that, especially to the future Duchess? Everyone thought he was a crazy idiot. The Duke asked him if he had mentioned that he was not allowed to drink wine. In that case, he should not eat dessert made with it. The man continued to say that he liked the wine very much. The Duke said no. He could not let his daughter's efforts go to waste, so he would have his share. Rub immediately took the portion away from the man, and the man simply did not understand what he had done wrong. Camille asked Pierre what he would cook tomorrow. He had a sauce recipe in mind. They would make canapés with it. She was asking if the canapés would be meat or fruit, and suddenly she saw Ravi there. She was surprised when she saw him. The lady came closer and asked him what he was doing here. He stood in front of her and asked what she was doing here at such a time. The girl didn't understand what he was talking about. Ravi said that she went to the kitchen every night. He didn't understand why she was sticking her head out once again, because she had never done that before. Camilla said she was just cooking. Ravi asked her if she thought the Duke would accept her, just because she was doing all this for him. The girl didn't understand what the difference was, or what was wrong with him. He and Camilla had never been particularly close. Nam didn't even care about her. What she's doing now reminds me of Ravi when I was a kid. He told me not to waste my time because it wouldn't lead to anything, Camilla said with a smile that she knows. She knows that she doesn't give a damn about them, and she has no desire to become part of this family. Ravi didn't understand why she was behaving like that then, but the girl immediately ran away and said that it was time for her to sleep. The guy asked if she understood what she said. Camilla said that she just wanted to survive. She has no desire to die. That's all. She doesn't need this useless family at all. Camilla told the ghost to ask already, because it was enough to stare silently. They asked what she meant when she told Mr. Ravi that she wanted to survive. The butler asked if she was in pain somewhere. Pierre told no one to die, because he still had so many dishes to cook. She knows that she will die in the future, so she does everything she can to stay alive. Even if she tells them this, they won't believe her. They may even run away from her thinking she's crazy. Camilla said that everyone wants to live, and that's really true. The butler agreed that it was logical. Since the Hello Drakes could move freely around the estate, they could probably find out where it was buried. Camilla said she had a favor to ask them. She asked if they had heard about the incident in the flower garden. Camilla wanted to find her mother's ring, which the maids buried in one of the flower beds. Because of him, the girl disturbed the flower bed, and the maids later scolded her for it. Camilla never named the real reason back then. Everyone was just finally convinced that she was crazy and nothing special had happened. That day, the Duke got very angry and scolded her because he was afraid that one day she would get to his favorite misty flowers. She was sure that the ring was buried here. The girl began to dig in her new dress. Her blood boiled every time she saw this scene in her dreams. It really infuriated her. Pierre said that she could have asked them for help back then, and he didn't understand why she pretended not to see them all this time. The lady said he was right and thought she was being too careful. The butler offered the lady a rematch. Ghosts are capable of many things, she just has to say. The girl did not understand what they would do, and what of this many things were even feasible. Camilla said she would handle her own affairs, but she was grateful that they told her where the ring was. It was all the servants. She didn't start it. George was surprised when he saw the girls, because he didn't expect her to call them too. The maid didn't understand why she suddenly needed them all. The second one thought that she wanted to scold them, while the Duke was in her favor. The maid bet her earrings that after a while, she would get tired of being my girl and lose the Duke's trust again. When they entered the room, they saw that everything was scattered and the lady was lying in the middle of the room. They did not understand what it was, and already thought that she was dead. The maid came closer and saw the pills there. The first thing that came to mind was suicide. She ordered the door to be locked. The maid couldn't believe that she was seriously dead. George tried to calm her down, but he said that she was probably dead after all. And then the maid noticed a letter. She opened it, and everyone ran up to her with interest in what was in it. In the sheet, she told in detail who made her dig up the entire flower bed and asked her father to take revenge for her. This horrified the maid. If this falls into the Duke's hands, they need to get rid of this letter, because she's not going to die with it. And then Camilla asked these guys if they seriously thought that luck was on their side. She asked if they really believed that they were incredibly lucky to be the first to know about it. The servants were in complete shock that she had not died. One of the girls had already begun to think that it was her ghost. Camilla is pretty good at pretending. The maid was shocked that she was just laughing at them. The lady remarked that any pretense could always be turned into reality, but the maid did not understand what she was talking about. The lady asked again if they knew that she went to the kitchen every night, and she asked what they thought would happen if she didn't come out. They will start looking for her. They will go there, and there she is, dead and with a letter in her hands. They feel deceived. The mistress now ordered them to remember all the people they had deceived. The maid was furious that she was threatening them. Camilla said that they threatened those who might offer something in return, and I didn't understand why I was threatening the pathetic little bugs, because she could just step on them. And by the way, the bugs had become completely quiet in recent days, and she had no idea what to do. All the servants immediately fell on their knees and said that they had made a mistake, asked for forgiveness, and said that nothing like this would happen again. Camilla said with a smile that this was great, and asked if they knew what they had to do. The maid did not understand anything. Camilla said she wanted them to find the ring right away. They immediately went looking and apologized again. The lady was glad that they had finally left. Playing the villain was the best way to relieve stress. But it requires endurance. Camilla asked the ghosts what it was. The butler was surprised, and Pierre noticed that she looked as if she would really kill if they went against her. He wondered how she pretended to do that. Once the girl received an award for the best villainous role. Her character even surpassed the main one. Pierre asked what the award was. The butler was shocked that there was an award ceremony for acting. Camilla just smiled. The butler noted that she had already found the ring and asked them to show her where it was. But she still sent the servants. Camilla confirmed this, but asked if they shouldn't get what they deserved. Let them dig in the dirt, nasty pigs. Meanwhile, the servants did not understand where it was. They were sure that this was exactly the same place, but there was nothing there. It turned out to be empty. Someone took it to sell it most likely, but that simply couldn't be. The butler came up to them and asked what they were doing there. The Duke was simply horrified that they had stolen a family heirloom. Sir Rube said that this was what the maids told him, and he thought the reason the lady was digging in the flower bed that day was to try to find the ring. The gentleman did not understand. If she had said it right away, he would not have acted so cruelly towards her. The Duke did not understand at all why his daughter remained silent. He ordered the butler to bring Camilla. It was only natural that she might have a hard time communicating with her new stepfather. He was uncomfortable too, but she allows the maids to mock her. The man does not understand how they dared to even think about humiliating his daughter. Camilla came to her father with a smile and asked if he had called her. She was worried because she thought that, while she was sorting out the services, something had already happened. The Duke admitted that he had heard that she had lost her ring and asked why she had not told the truth. The main character was in complete shock, and her father continued to ask why he was only finding out about this now. The girl did not understand at all why he was angry, and she did not believe that he believed Camilla. Dad said she should have shared it with him. Camilla was shocked that he actually regretted what he had done. The girl had watched him kill Camilla hundreds of times, looking at her with a cold, impenetrable gaze. Thanks to her recent efforts, the situation has changed for the better, but they still don't seem to be that close. Camilla said that the thing was that he had so much work, so she didn't want to bother him with her problems. She apologized for not listening to him and tried to deal with everything on her own. The Duke, furious, asked why she was apologizing. Because they have to. Dad said that Camilla can come to him in any situation. He asked her to always talk to him first. The girl did not understand why he looked at her with such a tender gaze. She just decided to whitewash her reputation a little, so she wouldn't die. If things continue like this, she won't be able to escape. The ghosts asked the lady what she was doing. The girl studied the map and tried to choose where to run if she suddenly had to. Pierre did not understand what he meant by run. Camilla said not to worry. It would be nice if everything worked out and she didn't have to run away, but things don't always go the way you want them to. Besides, who knows what Ravi will come up with next time? The main character cannot simply rely on the Duke's trust and let things slide, because soon the one will appear, the eldest son of Duke Sorfel and Camilla's brother, Rudville Sorfel. The maid informed Milady that their dear Duke was inviting her to tea. Camilla understood everything. Reason asks her to come, then she thinks that she has risen in his eyes. Things are not going so badly, so tea. When she came up, she saw her brother there. She didn't think that this guy was a suitable companion for tea time. But why is he here then? Ravi was glad to see me and told me to sit down. Camilla was grateful to him and sat down. But inside, she was very angry with him because she didn't understand why he didn't talk to her the same way when they were alone. By the way, Ravi seems to be in a good mood, and the main character became very curious about what made him so happy. The boy told his father that he had been chosen at the demonstration. Camilla already realized that this day had apparently come. Once a year, a demonstration ceremony is held in the Magic Tower. Only the most talented and experienced magicians are given the honor of being there. And since Ravi was chosen, it means he must be better. Now it is clear why this sly fox does not hide his joy. Soon the same thing will happen, and Camilla does not understand what to do. A servant ran into the room and shouted that this is a great victory. They were informed that Mr. Rudville had found the enemy's headquarters and defeated them all, and all thanks to a plan that the gentleman himself had developed. The Duke immediately stood up and rejoiced. This was news straight from the imperial palace, and His Majesty was also delighted. He personally sent a letter of congratulations to Mr. Rudeville. The Duke said that it was simply incredible. Ravi's expression changed immediately, and Camilla didn't understand what he was expecting. It seemed that luck was not on his side. But the worst thing is that the survey in honor of the victory will be held on the same day as the demonstration. Ravi said he would go. The Duke pointed out that he could stay if he wanted, but the boy said he had urgent business and asked to be forgiven. Camilla also has to go. The Duke said goodbye to them with a smile. He decided that when Rudeville returned, Tanya would throw a party. All this time, he worked like crazy, didn't sleep at night. The guy didn't understand what he had done to deserve such treatment. He thought it would be better to use dark magic now and went to the battlefield. Camilla said that he exceeded all expectations. To be at a demonstration is a thrill. Ravi asked if she was kidding, but the girl said she was telling the truth because only the best of the best were sent there. The brother didn't understand how she knew this at all. Camilla said that he was a good boy and left 2 words that he had wanted to hear from his father's lips for so many years. The guy didn't understand at all what was happening to his sister and why she was always behaving differently than usual. The maid told the lady that it suited her very well, and she was sure that she would be the main beauty at this banquet. Well, you can't argue with that, no matter how you look at it. The maid said that she would make a goddess out of her, and today too. The main character relied on her. Since Rudeville returned home, the estate has been holding feasts every day. Camilla is sure there is some political subtext to all this, and she thinks it is a little unfair, but she just needs to stand out. New day, new outfit. Ravi asked her to just not create new problems. The lady asked him why he was talking like that again, and thought he wanted to quarrel again. Ravi said that she had thrown it at the last party. Camilla admitted it. She was guilty, but she liked it. He didn't understand where she got such shamelessness from. Before, she wouldn't have dared to say a word. Something very strange was happening to her. She asked her brother if he had bought a new suit for the special occasion. Ravi hoped she didn't think he'd come to the banquet. Camilla had talked about the demonstration. The boy's eyes lit up, but he turned away and told her to forget it. The guy didn't understand how she remembered the date of the demonstration. He must be going crazy. Did Camilla remember or not? It has nothing to do with him. The girl said that if he doesn't pick the right outfit, he'll be compared to everyone. He agreed, but he didn't understand why anyone cared about clothes. He told her to try not to draw attention to herself at the banquet. Aside, they were told to make sure everything was ready for the banquet, so the celebration is going on even outside the estate. And here everyone is discussing Rudeville. There is no point in thinking about it, with or without a family. Ravi is still alone. The ceremony of demonstrating the best magicians will begin soon. Ravi stood jail, asked him if he was ready. The guy thought it was weird because usually he just stands to the side and looks at him strangely. But now he's acting somehow even friendly. Jail was completely shocked that the great master Ravi, one of the best magicians, said something like that. Ravi did not understand what he wanted to say. The lady called Jael. She told him not to be nervous and to give it his all, and his little sister said that she believed in him. Jael was very grateful to them. Suddenly, she turned towards Ravi and asked where his relatives were. He thought that no one had come to see him. The guy said that they were a family, and he didn't understand how that could happen, and he started saying that they were probably just late. Now, Ravi understood why the bastard had approached him. He said it was none of his business to worry about whether someone had come to support him or not. Jael was surprised, and asked again why it was none of his business, since he was worried as a friend. He smiled sarcastically, turning away. My own son returned home, and there was no time left for my adopted son. Ravi patted the boy on the shoulder and said that apparently his family was the only thing he could brag about. Ravi leaned over and whispered in his ear that he had heard that the professor had helped him surprisingly much in his demonstration. He pointed out that if there is money, it is also really beautiful. Jael stood there, dumbfounded. Ravi added that, without it, he is just an empty-headed idiot with no abilities or achievements. This made Jael very angry. Ravi couldn't believe his eyes. His sister Camilla came into the room. People were saying that the girl's parents really wouldn't come because she was an orphan. Her father was on the news recently. This was the same one who tried to kill his children, and then himself. He pointed his finger at the children and said that this crap was not from him. And his wife cheated on him with someone. His wife tried to calm him down and asked if he wanted the neighbors to call the police. The man shouted that if the girl were his own, he would not hate her so much. And the girl listened to everything from behind the door. Every time she looked at Ravi and Camilla's relationship in her dreams, Sia would remember her past. At the time when the girl did not feel love from her parents or from those around her. But Donna treated Camilla well. This was to be expected from her. If the main character had not become a popular actress, I would not have received the love and admiration of the audience. I would probably have gone crazy like Ravi and Camilla. That's why she's here. The next representative was told to come on stage. It was supposed to be Ravi. Even if she is annoyed that the Ravi from the past used Camilla because of his inferiority complex, she still worries about him because he feels lonely in his family, and the main character is so familiar with this. So she decided to support him, and she wanted to tell him in her mind not to lose to these idiots and to do everything in the best possible way, and to shine, because this time everything will be different. The girl looked after him for 20 years, so she thinks she can help a little. After everything was over, Ravi approached Camilla and asked what she was doing there dressed like that. Of course he was pleased to see Jail's sour face. He couldn't believe that Ravi had such a sister, and his demonstration was simply disgusting. But Camilla, he didn't understand. When she learned to emphasize her beauty, Ravi understood that something had definitely happened to her during this time. And yet the lady said she didn't know. Camilla just has no idea why she came. Ravi didn't understand what kind of answer that was. The girl said she just wanted to, so she came. Everything was as Ravi expected. He considered Camilla a complete child and thought that it was not worth even asking. Ravi suggested that she just leave here. Camilla asked again, and the guy asked if she wanted to stay here. The brother told his sister to go faster. It looked very funny because he never waited for her. Camilla asked her brother if he knew that his face was cuter than the back of his head. Ravi didn't understand what she meant by that. The Duke told Rudville that he was a good boy for coming to the banquet as soon as he could. The boy told his father that it was not difficult at all. Father pointed out that Ravi had a parade ceremony today, and he was sorry that 2 members of their family were not here. He should have taken care of that. It was the Duke's mistake. Dad told Rudville to go and rest. The boy was grateful. This Camilla took care of Ravi. It was quite interesting for Rudville. When Camilla arrived, she noticed that it seemed the banquet was not over yet. Camilla even had dinner beforehand, so as not to meet Rudville. Ravi said that he would probably go there and at least show himself, and asked what she would do. The girl said she was tired, so she would go to her room, and she wanted him to have some fun. The lady really didn't want to see this man. After all, Camilla died in most cases, at his hands. Rudville Sorful. With his sword, he pierced Camilla's heart many times and cut off her head. And even though he was only following the Duke's orders, the main character will never be able to forget this. At least the Duke can recognize some emotions on his face, but Camilla can't read this ice block. It looks like it rained this morning. The soil is wet, and the flowers. Camilla just sighs, so she decides it's time to stop. If the main character wins the Duke's favor, at least she won't be killed. All these difficulties, the thorny path. Compared to what she had to face at thousands of fashion shows, this is nothing. So Camilla will hope for the best. Suddenly, the girl heard her older brother's voice. She immediately smiled because she's simply an acting goddess. He was the last person she wanted to see. She had no idea what he was doing here and what kind of pose he was in. She shouldn't irritate him any further, so the girl stretched her smile from ear to ear. She noted that she was collecting flowers for him in honor of his return, and she said it was great that they crossed paths. She handed the bouquet to her brother and said it was for him. Camilla was shocked because he had absolutely no reaction. The lady said that she would go. Then Rube asked Rudville why he needed flowers, to which the guy replied that they were given to him. This surprised the butler quite a lot, and he even wanted to shake the daredevil's hand. The servants were also shocked that Mr. Rudville was given flowers. The man asked to be allowed to put them in a vase, but Rudville refused him, saying that they belonged to him. The butler immediately began to justify himself, so that he would not think that he was trying to take them away from him. For the first time, this child gave a gift to Rudville. The butler asked who the child was. The man did not understand why the gentleman had gone silent in the middle of the conversation. Rudville said that he would go to his room. The boy couldn't get her smile out of his head. This was the first time Camilla called him brother. Camilla thought she was going crazy. Ravi seemed especially quiet today because of Rudville. Now she would have to think about her every move and keep an eye on them. The main character decided that if this gave her a headache, she would definitely kill them. Rudville suggested that her sister swap dishes. This shocked Camilla, but she didn't understand why she thought about how her steak was bigger. He took it away so suddenly and didn't even ask. Dad asked Ravi how his demonstration went. The boy's eyes immediately lit up. Dad apologized and said he should have paid more attention. Ravi said it was okay, because his prayers had made it all happen. It was amazing. The Duke was genuinely interested in her brother's affairs. Father turned to Camilla and said that she would soon return to the academy. This surprised her, and she remembered that Camilla was still studying. It's still spring break, and then the main character will have to go to school. Her father asked her if she was sure she didn't want to change her major. The lady said she thought it best to leave things as they were for now. Once all this started, her life would be a real headache. If possible, it would be better not to cross paths with certain people. At least two. The Duke added that they had brought new chocolate, and he had heard that it was better to eat it with tea. This surprised his daughter. The man noticed that the misty flowers seemed to have blown a little. Camilla understood everything and said with a smile that she would bring more. Brother whispered if she was serious, didn't understand why he said all this. Camilla didn't understand what he was talking about, so Ravi told her to forget it. The main character realized that she seemed to have lost the thread of the conversation. She was a little late with the flowers, because she gave the collected ones to Rudville. Camilla usually had tea with the Duke when they brought him new ones, but she decided that perhaps it wasn't that important. Her father himself invited her to tea. He and Camilla must have become close during this time. Ravi didn't understand why he felt so proud of her. Duke Sorfel's office. Rudville told his father that he had decided to organize the list of desserts in their shop. Since this child does not like apples, the father asked him how he knew about it. The boy said that he heard that the servants were abusing Camilla. They cooked her terrible food, and he asked his father what he had done with them. The Duke made sure that they would no longer be able to work their estate, just like in any other family. The father asked if his son had gotten one of those dishes. Since he was asking, Rudville apologized and bowed to his father. But his father said that it was not worth it because it was not his fault. Divine Beast. They failed to find it this time, either. The Duchy of Sorfel is under the protection of the White Tiger. The Duchy of Sifra is under the protection of the Black Wolf. The Duchy of Javelon is under the protection of the Red Eagle. The Sorfels once had a divine beast, but the previous duke died suddenly due to being poisoned, and he was unable to pass the beast to his successor, as he should have. The duke is confident that no one will dare to ignore the Sorfel family just because of the lack of a divine beast. But two other families are putting pressure on him. 3 generations of this pendant, trying to find some clue, and all to no avail. Maybe it's time to give up. Rudville tried to tell him something, but his father stood up and said, "No way," every time those two grab with their animals. The Duke asked what was so incredible about these creatures, and suggested that his son look for more. The boy agreed. Camilla felt simply disgusting. Her stomach also hurt. The ghost butler called the lady. The main character did not understand what was happening and what had happened. But the ghost said that it was nothing like that. He just wanted her to meet someone. Camilla already basically understood that this was also a ghost. The butler confirmed this, to which the girl said that, in that case, she refused. The ghost asked her very much. The main character noticed that he was very nervous, and since he wanted it so much, his friend must be far from an ordinary ghost. The ghost simply begged the lady for this meeting. Under such pressure, Camilla decided to agree to this meeting. The man was very grateful. Camilla asked again if this person was a dweller, but the butler did not know what a dweller was. It is a type of ghost that cannot leave a certain area. After all, that's why he didn't bring him to her. The butler agreed with her and noted that, unlike them, he couldn't move around freely. The butler was delighted with how easily the lady understood this. It was simply astounding. Camilla asked where he was. The ghost bowed and said that he would take her. When people think about where ghosts might live, they usually think of a cemetery or the home of the deceased. However, ghosts rarely stay in these places because they do not want to be near their dead body. Now the main character understood what was going on, but she doesn't understand why there are so many of them here and why her. The butler said that they needed to go a little further. Camilla already thought that perhaps great figures, famous for their achievements, were buried there. To be buried here must be a great honor, although in the end, these are just graves. The ghost of the butler called the girl. This place is obviously looked after, so there are definitely some important people buried here. It was so sunny today, and Camilla is walking around the cemetery. The butler informed the lady that they were there. Someone asked the ghost if this girl was the one. The butler confirmed it. Since he was the 39th, it means he has been lying here for a relatively long time, since the current duke is the 42nd. The gentleman asked again if she really sees him. The girl said that she not only saw, but also heard. The man laughed and said that the end was near. The reason he insisted on her coming here was because Camilla interrupted him, asking if she could ask a question first. He allowed it. Camilla wanted to ask something about the head and genetics. The 39th head of the Sorfeld Duchy, Herschel Sorfel, one of the duties of the head of the family is to show the heir where the next divine beast will be born. However, he was poisoned before he could do this. Therefore, taking advantage of the opportunity, he wants Camilla to help find the divine beast. He begs her to do so. The main character was quite horrified. She understands that this is how the circumstances turned out, but does not know how she can help, because it's unclear what everyone will think if she suddenly finds an animal that has been hunted for decades. The main character gets goosebumps just from the thought, and she has already thought about pretending to be a fortune teller. She thought that everyone would definitely think she was crazy because the divine beast's egg was at the bottom of the river. Although who knows? Maybe if she does it, her chances of survival will increase significantly. The girl didn't know if it was a good idea to find the divine beast and deviate from the original course. The butler told the lady that she was very beautiful today. Camilla turned to him and asked if he meant that she was not beautiful before he began to justify himself by saying that he meant that the black dress suited her very well. So the divine beast is underwater. Some men noticed her at the cemetery. They were here because of the funeral of their mother. But what she is doing here is unclear. It was Pedro Havalon, the eldest son of Duke Havalon. It was strange that Lady Camilla didn't even notice him. The other guy thought that she just didn't see him because he was far away. But it's Pedro after all. Lady Camilla should have been running towards them at breakneck speed long ago. The butler told the lady she could do it. It's a real headache. Pedro said not to say that because it's rude to a lady. But it's true, and Pedro is too nice to everyone. It's a real problem. After all, wasn't it this lady who stole his things recently? Pedro said that she didn't steal them, but found them by accident and just kept them with her. The guy noted that it was normal that he lost them with such logic. She looks different today. Strangely, he can't take his eyes off her. Pedro said that if the two of them had nothing more to say, he was going. The Duke's son does not understand at all what Camilla Sorfel is doing here, and why she ended up here. At night, Camilla asked for water. All this time, she thought only about water. The girl did not understand how to get what was lying in the depths. The kettle was empty, and Donna didn't want to be disturbed at such a late hour either. So the main character decided that she would just go get some water herself. She saw a light behind the door, and became very curious about who could be there at such a late hour. Curiosity gets the better of her. She opens the door and sees her brother there. Camilla asks if he's here for a late-night snack. Ravi asked Camilla why she wasn't sleeping. The girl said she went out to get a drink. The brother didn't understand why she didn't order the servants to bring water. Camilla said it was late. Ravi asked who had prepared all this for him. Then, not receiving an answer, Ravi asked Camilla why she was sitting there. The lady told him to eat because she liked watching mukbangs. Ravi didn't understand anything, but said he didn't care. The main character heard that some people fall asleep while watching mukbangs. Overall, it looks interesting. Ravi told her that if she wanted to sleep, she could go. But Camilla kept saying that she didn't want to. The guy didn't understand why she was talking with her eyes closed. The girl said they were open and fell asleep during the argument. Ravi just couldn't believe it. At any other time, he would have just gone crazy and left her there. But how strange. Now for some reason he can't do that. She started making sounds, and the guy thought it was cold in the kitchen. The brother decided that it was worth taking her to the room. Suddenly, conveniently, Rudville's voice was heard telling the brother to eat calmly because he himself would take care of Camilla. Ravi said that it was not worth it, but Rudville assured him that everything was fine, and he could do it himself. The guy did not understand at all why Rudville was doing this, but the Duke's son told him to be quiet because he would wake Camilla. Ravi did not understand at all why he suddenly decided to take care of her. When Camilla woke up in the morning, she didn't know when she had fallen asleep. She didn't even know when she had returned to the room. She assumed Ravi had carried her back. Yeah, she gave him a hard time. He'll definitely be grumbling the next time they meet. He'll say he wasted his precious time trying to move her. Last night, she had a bad dream. In her sleep, the girl asked not to be killed. She cried, and Rudville said he would not kill her. Camilla opened her eyes and smiled, happy with his words. She didn't understand at all why she smiled when he said that. It was just a dream, and she laughed and cried like an idiot. Like a child because of this, she was very ashamed. Camilla called her brother Ravi. He in turn asked if she could communicate normally, but the girl did not understand what was wrong. The lady said she was a little embarrassed about yesterday, so she was being so kind today, but she thought he was happy. Ravi didn't understand why he was happy. Magamela said that it was because his sister was better off than she seemed. Ravi didn't understand the point of the conversation. Camilla asked him if he was surprised when he picked her up last night. After all, his little sister was so skinny. The guy was silent, so Camilla said that she understood, and would remain silent so he could stop looking at her like that. In the distance, she saw Rudville. Camilla didn't understand at all what he was doing here so early. It was awkward, but if she wanted to survive, there was no choice. Camilla greeted her brother with a smile. She asked him if it was a nice day. There was some kind of contact. Ravi came up to her and asked what kind of discrimination this was. Camilla had no idea what kind of discrimination they were talking about. Ravi said that the discrimination was in the way she addressed him, and his brother Rudville. He was treated with all the honors, but Ravi was not. The main character didn't understand what kind of child was living inside him, because he really made a big deal out of such a trifle. The girl did not understand why such obvious questions were being asked. Ravi was indignant because it was obvious that his sister respected her brother, Rudville, more than Ravi. Camilla said it was because he was her brother and her family. She didn't understand why he was so surprised, and she thought he didn't think she was his sister. Ravi asked if it was true. Camilla didn't understand why he was laughing, to which the guy said it was just nonsense. When she looked at her older brother Rudville, she wondered what was wrong with him. She had no idea which of the two she needed to please more. Lunch at the Sorfel estate today. All the men of this house are in some kind of bad mood. Camilla asked her father if everything was okay. The Duke said that the idiot was just coming soon, so he was wondering what kind of stomach upset he would have this time. The girl didn't understand what he was talking about. Javelin wants to discuss a couple of business matters. At first, Camilla didn't understand who they were talking about and asked again, but then she remembered. This is Duke Sorfel's friend and rival, Duke Javelin. Father added that Pedro would also be coming. This surprised Camilla a little, but it did not cause any particular reaction. The main character didn't understand what was going on, because as soon as Pedro's name was mentioned, everyone immediately looked at her. But still, the girl understood why they were staring like that. Pedro Javelin. He is one of the 5 people she does not want to cross paths with in her academy. The main character does not know why Camilla likes him so much, but the girl has been suffering from unrequited love for him for a long time. One time they talked about a party. Pedro apologized and said that he already had a partner for the party. This upset Camilla. She understood that there was nothing she could do about it. Everything was fine. The girl assured herself that he had refused her, not because he did not like her. Pedro's partner greeted Camilla. The shy girl said hello. She was shocked that his partner was Juella. The girl noticed that Camilla had a cute dress. She came a little closer and leaned over to tell her something. Juella admitted that she heard that Pedro turned her down when she offered to accompany him to a party. Camilla said he assured her he had already chosen a partner. Juella said it was a lie because she had asked him the same thing just 2 days ago. Juella laughed and was shocked by his behavior. She even noted that perhaps he should have told her right away that he didn't like her at all. Although if you think about it, who in their right mind would want to become Camilla's partner? After all, she is the Duke's adopted daughter, and just a fake. And so the same incident from the recent meeting happened. Fortunately, people were not surprised by Camilla's behavior, and considered it normal. She wanted to hide the fact that she had been insulted by being called a fake. Her father asked her to tell Camilla now if she felt uncomfortable, so that she wouldn't make others nervous. The main character said that she no longer wants to have anything to do with Pedro. The feelings for him are gone, so they don't have to worry about her. Initially, it was Camilla who loved him, not the main character. The father understood everything. Well, the girl understood that they did not believe her. Well, it hasn't been that long since the last incident at the gala. Camilla has been stalking Pedro like a madwoman, so it's logical that she's not trusted yet. The Duke doesn't even know why Javelin is here. He's sure that he wants to show off his incredible divine beast again under the pretext of a business meeting. Camilla remembered the divine beast and wondered if she needed to find it after all. But the girl couldn't even swim. Father asked Camilla if she was thinking about something. The girl immediately came out of her thoughts and said that nothing like that. He just looked so upset, that's why she felt sad. The Duke told her not to worry and to enjoy her food, otherwise it would get cold. Camilla agreed to this only on the condition that her father also ate. The gentleman asked Gerald what kind of dessert it was. The chef said it was a special request from Lady Camilla, after which the father asked the girl what it was. The sweet lady said it was black bean juice and sorbet. Black beans are good for hair growth, and Camilla is sure that genetics have nothing to do with it. Well, it's better to be on the safe side. The Duke didn't understand what genetics had to do with it, because he didn't think thick hair was bad. Camille was very curious whether he would eat, while he was quietly savoring it. When Javelin arrived in the Duke's, he said that he had heard about the victories of the Duke's son, and the gentleman had generally become more handsome since their last meeting. He noticed that the Duke probably wasn't even hungry, because he was getting his fill just by looking at his heir. Sorfel told him to stop talking nonsense and come inside. When the guest saw the adopted children, he didn't even pay attention to them and quickly went to the castle. He hasn't changed at all. He still doesn't see the point in recognizing them in this family. Duke Javelin values his family ties and the honor of his family very much, and they are just scoundrels because there is no ducal blood in their veins. Come to think of it, he probably wasn't happy to learn that Camilla had taken a liking to his son. But the current Camilla wouldn't take him for free, so everyone can relax. Pedro's voice was heard from behind, saying that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. He really does have a cute face. No wonder Camilla lost her head. The main character was happy to greet Lord Pedro. He simply enjoys the fact that his gestures of attention encourage the girl. The main character hates such people. Pedro noted that this was their first meeting since that banquet. The guy apologized for not helping the lady, then although he should have, Camilla said that everything was fine. The main character herself saw him slip out of the hall. Pedro admitted that he had heard that she had a very beautiful blooming garden and asked if he could take a look. Camilla herself noticed that it was quite good. She told Rub that Mr. Pedro wanted to admire their garden and asked him to take her to the right place. This surprised Pedro quite a lot. Camilla told him to enjoy the view. Rube told them which way they should go to get to the flower garden. Duke Javelin said that he had heard that the Duke had not yet found his divine beast. The Lord asked why he had come. Javelin said there was a business discussion on the agenda. The Duke suggested getting straight to the point. Javelin had heard that he was extracting unusual minerals from the mine, which recently came into his possession, and asked him why he wouldn't trust the business of their trading organization, Utah. Sorfel did not understand why this was happening. The man said that Sorfel knew nothing about the benefits of this mineral, but they would help, and when he started selling it, he would be able to do so through the company. Sorfel decided to refuse. Javelin didn't understand why, since he would obviously have more connections. Sorfel said that even if so, he still wouldn't hand the case over to him. Javelin called him stubborn butter and thought he was just angry, but Sorfel assured him that he was not at all. Camilla called her father and said that she had brought snacks. Her father called her to come into the room. When the girl entered, her father asked if this tea was new, because he did not remember her bringing anything like it. Camilla had heard that he had not been sleeping well lately. This tea relaxes and strengthens sleep. An obedient and caring child is something that has always been bragged about, especially in front of others. The daughter said that she would bring him another cup before bed. The Duke was grateful and asked her if she would like to sit with them. Camilla asked again if she could, because she didn't know if she would disturb their conversation, The Duke told her to sit down next to him. Duke Javelin doesn't seem to be jumping for joy, like in this picture. He has a divine beast on his shoulder. It seems that no one but her can see it. No one cares. The main character was very curious whether it could be that they are like ghosts until they are summoned. The father told Camilla that the tea was as delicious today as always. The daughter was overjoyed that he liked it. Of course, this drink was made by Darren. He is a master tea brewer and works as the best butler. Camilla asked Duke Javelin if he wanted to try it. She hoped he would like it. The man agreed to try it. The girl saw from his face that he would definitely want more. The divine beast asked her if she could see him. Camilla didn't understand what it was, because she thought that only the head of the family could hear the voices of the divine beasts. The bird told her that she had a very pure soul. It was you who called the divine beast the Duke, calling him Jetty. The main character noted that his name is the same as a Korean chocolate drink. He grew up so quickly. This means that he appears as soon as the owner calls him, and until then, he is a real ghost. Duke Sorfel asked him in horror why he had summoned a divine beast. Without any reason, Javelin smiled and said that he just wanted to admire it. He thought that Javelin wanted to burn the place down. The man said that he understood that it was foreign to him, but the divine beasts were so wonderful that he couldn't take his eyes off her. Duke Sorfel told him to sit at home and admire as much as he wanted. This man is just making fun of him. The divine bird flew up and landed on Camilla's lap. Javelin called for Jetty, but he did not respond. This already angered the Duke, and he angrily called her, but the bird said that she did not want to, because he liked it there. This child has a very pure soul, as if she was just born. The Duke did not understand what he was saying. He likes Camilla. Camilla apologized. She was popular among such creatures. Sorfel noticed that his divine beast liked his daughter more than he did. Javelin stood up and started shouting at him to stop talking nonsense, because he was the only one listening to him. But Jetty didn't react. Sorfel laughed at that. The main character did not understand what to do in such a situation a few days later. The maid asked if the mistress was sure she would be all right. She should probably change her faculty as the Duke had advised. Camilla assured her that everything was fine, and she would cope. The maid did not understand what this person was constantly worried about. Although she understood her, Camilla was in captivity for a while, so it was hard to let her go. In the end, she stayed there. The duel between James and Hamel is about to begin. Fencing, the Sorfel family, is famous for its swordsmen. They have 2 swordmasters, which surpass all on the continent. That's why she chose this direction. She wanted to prove that she is also part of the family. Such a choice had to be made with at least some rudiments of talent. It's so difficult. The main character didn't understand why she would take on something she didn't understand at all. Although to some extent she understands her. Maybe it was the last hope. Well, the choice was Camilla's. It can't be changed. There's a chance she'll come back so she won't retreat. The sky is so clear that Camilla almost wants to take a nap. Camilla is a very inconspicuous student. Even the teachers don't pay attention to her. Such a nice place in the shade of a tree. And then she saw a ghost with a sword in his chest. But Camilla decided that it was better not to contact him. The main character started looking for a similarly good place. But it turned out that there was not a single shadow. This just sucks. He doesn't even look at her after she gets close. It's such a relief. You can't just stare at a school match, because it might attract attention, the boys noticed Lady Camilla. Pedro was shocked that she was sleeping during class, and that it was the same Camilla. It was like she was a completely different person. He wonders who would ever come up with the idea of sleeping during class. And it was Lady Camilla. Everyone thought she was crazy. Pedro said that she should lie there. They still had to go to class. The boys said that she had seriously changed. So carefree during class, someone touched the guy and he said, "Damn." Turning around, he saw the guy asking if he was saying that to him. This is Arshian Sifra. That guy immediately started apologizing, but Arshian said with a smile that there was no need for an apology because he was not going to apologize. The Sefra family is known for its genius mages, and as the eldest son, Arshian also has incredible strength. Unlike other mages, he is also well-built physically. But there is one thing he lacks, and that is humanity. Last year there was an incident. A transfer student who didn't know about the people at school got into a fight with him, but he ended up beating him half to death. Every time the boy was on the edge, Arshian healed him and started all over again. Over and over again. Everyone who watched the fight at that moment felt like he had lost his mind. Pedro came up and said that there was no point in making a conflict out of nothing, because there was a small misunderstanding. He told Arshian that since they had already apologized to him, he could just ask, and they would go their separate ways and forget about it. Arshian asked if he was a clown, and said it would be very interesting to see if he would continue to grin like that after he punched him in the face. Pedro said that sounded tempting. Well, despite this, going further into them is the best idea. Arshian hit the guy and told him not to call him by his name, as if they were friends. He doesn't want to hear it. Someone noticed them, and Arshian told them to try not to be seen by him. This girl's behavior was very suspicious. He didn't believe that she could see them either. There, even in the classroom, ghosts were everywhere. Camille felt like she needed a nap. And the teacher came up and said that it seemed that her lesson was not very interesting to her. The girl remembers this teacher. She can't even lift her head at the sight of Duke Sorfel. Therefore, when he is not around, she asserts herself at the expense of Camilla during classes. There are many people in the class sleeping openly in their seats, and it is unclear why she had to be pulled up. She is an evil woman. The woman didn't know how to interpret her behavior, because she was acting as if her subject wasn't worth paying attention to. Camilla said that she was standing, and the teacher asked if this meant that she was able to solve absolutely any problem. In that case, she should go to the board. The teacher acts like a child. You might not notice it, but she graduated from University S. Since she was an orphan, she acted a little irresponsible and used it as an excuse. And even though acting left her with almost no time to sleep, she never gave up on her studies. In addition, the main character also watched Camilla study for 20 years. She solved an exam task that she had already seen more than 10 times. Camilla asked if she could sleep now. She had been there for half a day, and she felt like she had starred in 3 TV series at once. The main character is very curious about why there are so many ghosts in the academy. The carriage is so soft that she is already falling asleep. Lady Camilla has already arrived. Lavushka has slept very well during this time. If you think about it, for the first time during her stay here, she was able to admire the sunset. The life of the main character is going downhill. The sunset is so beautiful, Camilla was called by her dad. He was glad that his daughter had returned. Camilla was shocked that he came out to say hello to her. The usual hello a father would say to his daughter when he just got home from school. She had never experienced that before. The girl burst into tears. She went crazy because she didn't understand why she was crying. The father didn't understand what was going on at all. He came up and asked what had happened. The main character had never experienced anything like this before. No one met her at home. Her faithful friend was always the darkness. She met her. And when her mother died, the man who called himself her father came to demand money from her. But the girl didn't shed a tear. Then, she had never said out loud the words that she was home. The girl couldn't even dream of this. The Duke congratulated her on her return. She had a hard time today. The main character was very ashamed. She did not understand why, at that moment, they all came out. Rudville, Ravi, and others just watched. The main character is hungry. Well, she's had enough of shame. She's trying to survive. You can't starve like this. Camilla decided to change her clothes and see how things were in the kitchen. Ravi asked her what was taking her so long, calling her a turtle. The lady did not understand at all what was wrong with him, and she was very surprised that he was waiting for her. Camilla asked if there was a single turtle in the world whose beauty could match hers. Ravi couldn't understand where she got her confidence from. Camilla said she would stop joking if only he would stop making that face. He threw something into the girl's hands and told her to take it. The girl asked what it was. It was a bracelet that you throw at someone you don't like. Camilla didn't understand why it couldn't be done humanely. Ravi did say that this magic bracelet could immobilize a person. If something happened, she could just use it instead of crying like a 5-year-old. The main character didn't understand why he gave it to her. He probably thinks that she is being bullied at the academy. Camilla suggested that her brother Ravi go with her. The boy said that he had already told her to address him normally. Camilla asked Ravi if she would lose face in the eyes of people if she used this bracelet. The guy told her not to worry, because her reputation could not be saved. Time is inexorable, and the main character knows it. The ghost butler told the lady that the water was warm enough, but she refused. The butler said that now was the high season because everyone only bathed in this kind. She knew this without him. The main character has run out of excuses and can't put it off any longer. After all, this is one of her main tasks. The Soul Lake is the symbol of Fabler Academy. According to the previous Duke, the egg is somewhere here. Rudville seemed to be a graduate of this academy. She was surprised that he didn't carry a divine beast pendant with him. The place wasn't exactly obvious. The girl was cold and called the butler a liar. The water was icy and she couldn't feel her fingers. The butler said that Mr. Herschel was nervously awaiting her actions. Camilla said that he had been waiting for decades, so he would wait a little longer. The ghost tried to ask her again, but Camilla said that she would come back when the water got warmer. She told him to stop lying and whining because she couldn't be fooled anymore. The main character asked the ghost if he had to follow her to the academy every time. The butler said that Mr. Herschel was simply desperate. The main character understood him perfectly well. If you have a heat seems deep. The butler said not to worry about it because he already checked and has a rough idea where the egg might be. She just has to follow him. Camilla was never afraid of water, but then she was. She saw a guy telling a girl not to break, and she wondered who it was. The lady said she had nothing to talk about with him, and the guy offered to have a cup of tea. The main character didn't understand what kind of old man's remarks these were. Shame. The girl wasn't interested at all. The guy said that she didn't seem to know her place. Her family wasn't even part of high society, and he didn't understand how she dared to refuse him. He grabbed the girl's hand and told her to be grateful for her attention. He arrogantly asked if she knew what clan he was from. Camilla asked him if he really thought anyone cared what clan he was from, and told him that he needed to work on his behavior first. The girl asked if he slept during his native language lessons. No wonder he has such a poor vocabulary and no understanding of other people's feelings in relationships. She doesn't care about his family, and she just doesn't like him. The guy was in complete shock when he saw her. Camilla was surprised that he recognized her. The guy asked if she was alone here. The main character didn't understand what the big deal was. The guy couldn't believe that two impudent, rude idiots were here with him. He asked how her reputation was. Did she need more problems? So she better leave here. Camilla noted that he should worry about his own. Jude Hebley, Duke. Hebley's second son, age 20. Child of a concubine who showed a terrible temper from childhood. The guy asked her in horror what she was talking about. 3 years ago, on March 15th, the Duke kidnapped the daughter of Viscount Sable and raped her. She couldn't believe that such a bastard was in front of her. It took a huge amount of money to cover up the incident. The butler told her all this. The guy, horrified, asked what she was saying and how she knew about it. Camilla said it was just curiosity. The butler said that this bastard did not deserve to live, and he was simply disgusting. The main character wondered how a simple butler knew about this. The guy grabbed her and ordered her to quickly tell him how she knew about all this. Right now. If she knows that, then she probably knows what else he's done. Even after what he did to them, no one said anything. Everyone tries to hide their shame, and he didn't think she was any different. The girl screamed at him to stop because it was not her fault. Just think, there is so much rot in a person. The main character didn't even know that such a thing was possible. The guy was thinking about what he would do with this little girl. There was no one here, and Camilla had nothing to lose. She threw the bracelet at the guy. He didn't understand what it was, and ordered her to take it away immediately. He turned out to be quite useful, and the main character was grateful to her brother. The guy shouted at her to remove the ropes. The girl said that if he makes noise, she will really remove them. Apparently, he does not want to die. And then the girl remembered that she hadn't asked her brother how to free him. The guys came up to them and didn't ask Jude what he was doing there. He was gone for a long time, so they decided to come over. He said he could handle it himself. Jude shouted at the guys not to let her go. Camilla should have guessed that he was not alone, and now she understands what to do. If she tries to run away, it is unclear whether she will be able to break away from them. And then her brother appeared from behind. Camilla had no idea what he was doing there. Rudeville was just passing by. The girl didn't understand at all where he was going since this place was on the way. He was so strange, but now was not the time to figure it out. Rudeville asked if they were the reason for her tears. Camilla didn't understand what he was talking about. The girl doesn't know why he suddenly decided to ask about it, but it's worth playing along with him. Camilla confirmed his words. Rudville told his sister to stand behind him. Camilla was happy because they were all dead, and she was even afraid to imagine what would have happened if he had not come. The girl who was sitting on the floor was grateful to Camilla. She apologized for herself and asked if the lady was hurt. If you look closely, she knows her. The girl introduced herself as Layla. She is Layla Hastam. She knows this name. She is the real heroine of this world. While everyone tried to avoid Camilla, she, on the contrary, extended her hand to her. Camilla didn't like this behavior at all. Despite the fact that they were both adopted at some point, the result was completely different. Camilla screamed at her that she hated her and wished she would disappear. They both live with foster parents, but for some reason, she is not like that. She is loved, and now Pedro is interested in her. Because of her jealousy, she even tried to kidnap and kill her. But her father came into the room and ordered Camilla to stop because she had crossed the line. She asked her father to have mercy on her. It seems that after this, everyone turned away from Camilla completely. Well, that's completely justified. Not only did she kidnap him, but she also wanted to finish him off. It turns out she transferred to them at that time. She provoked Camilla the most. She didn't understand how she could forget about her. Camilla gave her hand to Layla and asked if she wanted to continue sitting in the mud. The girl was grateful. Camilla said that if she was truly grateful, she should not go anywhere with such people anymore. Layla said that she was not going with him. Camilla didn't understand what she meant. Layla said that she followed her. After all, she went into the forest all alone. It was very dangerous, so she decided. The main character asked what it was, and if she knew it, Layla confirmed it and noted that everyone was only talking about it. What Camilla is wearing, what jewelry she has on. They even discuss how the girl braids her hair. During the break, the kids were talking about what Camilla had done in class. The girl, of course, understood that she was attracting attention, but not to that extent. All they did was talk about her. Layla wanted to meet Camilla. Her look was very familiar. Many new actresses looked at her in exactly the same way. Layla hoped that they would become friends. The main character did not understand why this girl needed her. Camilla was called by her brother, as expected from a swordmaster. He dealt with them so quickly, the bracelet broke. The guy apologized, but Camilla said it was okay. Nothing could be done about it. She would just ask Ravi's brother to fix it. Rudville was surprised that it was Ravi who made her this bracelet, but he didn't understand why. To be honest, Camilla herself doesn't know. The main character thought that he cared so much about his little sister. He was a brother after all. Rudville squeezed the bracelet tighter in his hands. Camilla didn't understand at all why he broke her bracelet. She was in complete shock and even horror. It's strange Rudville was never interested in anyone. The first person who could attract his attention should have been Layla, but for some reason, he didn't even look at her today. In her dreams, she saw how these two had an inexplicable attraction to each other from the very first meeting. But because the other male characters, Ravi and Pedro, interfered, things got complicated. If she remembered correctly, they were supposed to meet at the market. Maybe it was all about the location. They were near a lake after all. Still, the girl decided that she had nothing to do with it and that she'd better get some sleep. The ghost of the Duke asked her to wake up for a while. Camilla drove him away through her sleep, and he continued to ask her to wake up. The man noted that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Camilla didn't understand how he got here. The Duke didn't know either. The main character was shocked that the inhabitants could move like that. He was still waiting for news from her. And today, for some reason, his body felt lighter. A ghost who feels the weight of his absent body is delirium. Maybe it's because she agreed to help him. She didn't think ghosts could do that. There might be more of them now. By the way, he asked when she would take the divine beast egg. It's not as easy as it seems. The ghost said that he even said the place and did not understand what was so difficult. You can't leave the egg unattended for so long. The butler said that he was right. Camilla didn't understand where Darren came from, because their family still didn't have a divine beast. So many problems had accumulated, and she should hurry. The lady said that she understood them, and she would take this egg. But first, something had to be prepared. The ghosts asked again. The lady started coughing. The maid immediately rushed into her room. They did not understand what had happened to the lady and whether she was okay. Even her father came. He sat down next to her and asked what had happened. She said she had a dream. There were a lot of fabrics in his office, and suddenly everything caught fire. She screamed at him to get out of the fire, but he didn't move and continued to stand right in the middle of the fire. Ravi didn't understand what she was up to again. He didn't even notice how he ran here. Her father said with a smile that, despite the fire, she thought about saving him. Camilla said it was so terrible and apologized. Father said it was nothing to worry about. She must have been very scared Camilla had made such a fuss on purpose. Very soon, a big fire will break out in the textile factory owned by the Sorfel family. She doesn't know exactly before, but it happened a week after Layla arrived. The main character deliberately told about it as if she had dreamed it. The Duke's assistant ran into the room. He reported that there was a problem. A textile factory in the Burke area had caught fire. It was late, no one was hurt. But the factory won't be able to work for some time. The Duke asked what he was talking about and suggested going to the office. The maids whispered among themselves because the lady had just said the same thing. Some people thought it was just a coincidence, but it was still great because the ground was set. The ghosts didn't understand the connection. The Duke asked if she wanted to plant a flower. Camilla told them to think about it themselves. If she suddenly brings an egg, what will people say? The Duke said they would be happy. At first, perhaps, and then they will bombard her with questions about how she knew about his location. And if she honestly admits that the late Mr. Herschel told her about this, they will say that she has completely lost her mind. So she needs ground. The ghost asked whether she wanted to say that she had seen an egg in a dream, and asked whether she thought that they would believe her. The butler was also doubtful. Camilla said that was why they had to prepare the ground. They arrived. The Duke asked what this place was. Camilla said it was fertilizer. The Duke asked how she knew there was going to be a fire in the textile factory. He thought it was a coincidence. The ghosts asked her how it happened, and the girl ignored their questions and asked what to buy before tea. It would take time to get the factory up and running again. Luckily, there were no casualties. The man noted that he hadn't seen Camilla for a long time. The main character greeted the Count of Chalon, assuming that he came because of the fire. The man confirmed this. He also doesn't understand how she could have predicted this event. By the way, she didn't think that he was interested in the Sorfel family business. Camilla said not to worry because he might have heard it said that good fortune and misfortune always go together. She had a gift for him. The Count didn't understand what it was. Camilla said it was luck. The man asked if he could open it now. The girl allowed him to do this. And when the Count of Chillon opened it, he realized that it was the very one. The maid asked her friend if she had heard the news that the Countess of Chillon had finally become pregnant. It was said that Lady Camilla had heard about it before anyone else. She suddenly decided to give the Count in Chaillot some children's shoes. She said that he would need them soon. The shoes, by the way, are for a girl, so they don't think this means that a young countess will be born. Viscount Basil recently brought in a new business partner, and as soon as people saw him, they immediately shook their heads in disapproval. Everyone found this suspicious. The Viscount decided to dig into the man's past, and it turned out that he was a fraud. She knew that the head maid's mother would soon die. The lady told her to come home quickly. She went, then her mother died. The girl thinks that the story about the fire is not a coincidence either. It's so amazing. She is more talented than the most popular street fortune tellers. Father turned to Camilla and asked what was going on. Everyone said she could see the future. Camilla said she doesn't know either. Sometimes she dreams about it, and on rare occasions, when she sees some characteristic signs, the pictures just pop into her head. The Duke asked her if she was in pain. His daughter told him not to worry. He asked her to let him know if she felt anything. There is one dream that she has every night. The Duke, horrified, asks if it is some kind of nightmare. Camilla denied it and said that she wanted to check him herself and then tell him everything. Her father asked if it was something dangerous for her. Camilla said that it was not like that at all. Everything was fine because all that was left was to find the divine beast's egg. The main character isn't a very good swimmer, but she has a ghost who will show her everything. Camilla asked the butler if it was really not deep. He assured her that he had checked everything. He said that she would get him very quickly. The ghost suggested to start and said that he would go first. Even though the water is very icy, it is very clear. The ghost told us where to go because he found where the egg was hidden. The main character dived under the water and was surprised because she thought the egg was an ordinary glass bead. The girl noticed that she was very beautiful. but it was already time to go up because there was not enough air. And then the girl saw Donna, who was swimming rapidly towards her. She grabbed the lady and said that she couldn't die. Camilla couldn't breathe. Donna asked the lady if she was able to come to her senses. It was because of the ghost that she lost consciousness. It's a good thing she didn't drop the egg. Camilla asked Donna where she came from, and Donna asked what had gotten into her mistress. Donna tearfully asked Camilla why she climbed into the lake and did not understand why she wanted to die. Camilla tried to say something, and Donna said that if she died again, it would be forever this time. This horrified Camilla. She didn't understand what this meant, or what she meant at all. Donna said that she couldn't go back to the past as before. Camilla asked again what she said. All the maids were horrified when they saw their mistress completely wet. They asked if she was okay. Rudeville asked if these were the culprits again. Camilla told her brother that she wanted to rest. The ghosts wanted to tell her something, but Camilla ordered them to leave her. Camilla said that if now, in this place, at this moment, anyone were to eavesdrop or spy, she swears that she will never speak to them again. Camilla told Donna to come in. The maid asked if she wanted to change, or how about some tea. Camilla said no and asked her who she was. The maid did not understand in what sense, and said that she was her maid, Donna. The mistress asked if she wanted to die, and she ordered to speak faster. If she died then, this time forever, because she could not return to the past. Camilla did not understand what she meant. The main character asked why she ended up in this world and did not understand what was happening. After all, Donna knows something. Donna said she would tell her the truth. Donna is a soul keeper, or at least she was one. Camilla asked if she was no longer one. Donna admitted that she was banished because she made a mistake. Donna mixed up the souls and placed them in the wrong places. Camilla asked if that meant she placed someone's souls in bodies that didn't belong to them. Donna said that the lady understood everything correctly. For example, how people can be comfortable in clothes of one style. So some souls feel in their place only in certain bodies. If you follow at the wrong time, then discord will occur. Specifically, those around you will begin to reject the owner of this soul. Camilla asked again, and Donna said that relatives hate them, others envy them, all that stuff. Their very presence irritates those around them. The main character already understood that it was her soul that was in the wrong place. Donna confirmed this. You see, from the very beginning, the souls of Mrs. Chie and Lady Camilla were accidentally mixed up. But not only does she have a clear and quick grasp of the situation, she also has an amazing intellect. Camilla told her to shut up, and all because their souls were not in their bodies from the moment of birth. The main character asked if she was supposed to be born in this body in the first place. Donna knelt down and said she was right. Camilla didn't understand what the reason was. Camilla screamed and asked why she didn't return the souls to their places if she realized that she had made a mistake. She didn't understand why Donna didn't do it. The maid said that it wasn't that easy to pull the soul out of the body, especially when they are in different universes. Any violation of the laws of one world violates the order here too. There was just one important requirement. They had to sense each other's presence. Donna was sure she had been watching this place for a long time. To feel a presence means that Lady Camilla saw the life of the main character in her dreams. Now the main character understood that she belonged to this place, and she would not be able to return to her universe. And if she died, it would be the end for her. Donna said she was a good girl because she caught on so quickly. The girl asked if this meant that in her world she died. Donna confirmed this and said that her father killed Mrs. Lacey A. Before he only threatened her to get money, but after that, he never came back. She couldn't believe that she would eventually die at his hands. The main character asked if Camilla could die permanently in Lacey's world. Donna said that Mrs. Lacey A was aware of these details. She tries her best to survive there, and also tries to get rid of all possible threats and risks. Camilla thought that she was doing the right thing, otherwise she would be an idiot, but she was already mentally prepared. The reason Donna kept bringing Camilla back to her past over and over again was because she didn't want to miss the moment when they would feel each other's presence. Lacey Ah is the name of the main character, but it feels foreign, and yet she does not understand why all this lasted so long. Donna didn't expect it to take this long either, and she doesn't have much power, so at least Mrs. Camilla from this world was able to sense her presence at the last moment of her life and broke this vicious circle. Camilla remembered that very ghost, and she realized that it was that very Licia, the real one. If they had missed this opportunity, they would never have had another chance. But they did it. A crack appeared in both worlds, and they were able to switch bodies. The main character did not understand why this maid was so proud of herself. She hit her a little and told her she was lucky she didn't hit girls. Donna asked if Camilla was glad she was a girl. She asked to be allowed to finally introduce herself properly, and she turned into a man named Dorman. This is his true form. Now Camilla understood that he was actually a boy. It didn't really matter to them, but to be precise, yes. The main character did not understand at all why he was pretending to be a girl. He wanted to support Milady and be as close to her as possible, and it seemed to him that a female appearance would be more appropriate. Camilla said he was helping her take a bath. The guy said he had already said that their gender didn't really matter. The girl told him to shut up. And yet he was kicked out, and now he has lost most of his powers. He can't even see ghosts anymore. Camille decided that she could see them, because her soul was misplaced in the first place. Camilla said that it was not about that. It was just his peculiarity. Well, for now, she lives a full life which was destined for her. He still has a chance to return to his position. By the way, they died in agony so many times, bleeding, screaming in pain, and all because of him. Well, if you look at it that way, Camilla ordered him to call her superiors, but the guy didn't understand why. The girl said that when an employee makes a mistake, the manager must take responsibility. Dorman said that they were already doing everything to fix it. Camilla didn't understand what to fix and where the others were looking. The man assured her that sending the soul back so many imaginary deaths was not something everyone could do. They worked so hard so that they could feel each other's presence without harming the worlds. Camilla said that it was not her problem Licia was born with many talents. And to apologize to her, they gave her a huge amount of luck and blessings. Every movie the main character starred in became a hit, and she couldn't believe it was because of them. The girl asked, "What about Camilla? What did she get?" Dorman was very embarrassed to say this, but she got it. He is her loyal assistant who is ready to support her at any moment. Camilla asked if he is her main advantage. The man confirmed this, and the girl immediately kicked him out. Donna was looking after her. She should be glad she's on her side. Although if you think about it, if it weren't for her, none of this would have happened to them. But the main character took the divine beast's egg. She thought it best to give it to the Duke as soon as possible. The maid asked Dorman to help her, and the other told him not to forget to come and have a snack later. Dorman greeted Mrs. Camilla with a smile. The girl didn't understand what it was, and why they were acting as if everything was fine since he had changed his gender. He said that this was one of his abilities. As long as he was near Lady Camilla, no matter what form he took, no one would pay attention to it. So this is one of the residual skills. Camilla told him to forget it, and noted that it was not necessary to drag her around everywhere, because she would not die from not having him around. If all this was destined to happen, he could have at least warned her. If she had gone through these circles of hell with the knowledge that it would all end when they changed, then her life would have been much easier. But this is beyond Dorman's competence. Until the souls return to their affairs, telling them anything about this is strictly forbidden. Unstable souls are more fragile and prone to destruction. Camilla did not understand how he had helped her then. The man who did not answer offered her tea. He decided to tidy up her room for now. Camilla said he was useless and no good. Dorman said the lady was very cruel. The lady said that she was leaving. Someone tried to stop her, but she did not listen. Suddenly, the girl met the butler. She asked Rube if her father was inside. Poe said that the gentleman was receiving a guest. Duke Javelin arrived. Camilla wanted to speak with him alone and give him the egg. Rube wanted to ask the lady something about her hair. Camilla remembered that it was still wet. The girl said that she had just decided to take a bath. Rube was surprised that Mrs. Kupelas was bathing in such weather. The lady remarked that she had been feeling a bit hot lately. Rube asked if he should make arrangements for her room not to be heated, but Camilla immediately said no because she was cold at night. The lady was usually cold at this time of year, but now she decided to go for a swim. She said she was just looking for something and asked not to look at her like that. Rudville stupidly asked what she was looking for. He said that if she came to see her father, she could come in. Camilla said that was why she came, but she would taste her father later. Rube said that everything would be fine and she could pass. He was sure that Duke Javelin would be glad to see her. Well, since he insisted, Camilla decided to agree, but she did not understand at all why everything was not going according to plan. Jetty was very happy when the lady came. She was glad that the lady found him. He seemed to understand right away what was going on. It seemed that divine beasts could sense each other, and yet Camilla had a beautiful soul. Judging by his current size, who would dare to assume that the Duke hadn't called him yet? Father told Camilla to come in. Javelin remarked that he was glad to see her again. The girl greeted him and said that the feeling was mutual, but she did not understand why he was acting so friendly. It's strange, because suddenly, the girl heard a very strange sound. The Duke's pendant worked, which meant that a divine beast was nearby. Camilla noticed that it was the same pendant she had heard that it reacted when the egg was nearby. Now she knew. Rube said it was in the lady's pocket. Father noticed it too. Camilla herself confirmed that it was the egg of the divine beast. The ghost was very proud of Camilla because she did it. He jumped out of nowhere like a ghost. Although he is a ghost. White tiger. Divine beast of the Sorful family. With its roar it can stun enemies, and with a swing of its claws, it can spill rivers of blood. And then a little tiger cub appeared, meowing. It was a kitten meowing and looking at the lady. The Duke was very happy. Camilla thought it would be a tiger, and did not understand at all why it was so small. The ghost Duke was very happy that the tiger cub was finally home, calling him a charming baby. Camilla was shocked that this was the divine beast. The thing is, he couldn't wake up for a long time. He's small now, but that's okay, so she shouldn't worry. The cat immediately jumped into Camilla's arms. Jetty was sure that he liked her. It's not that simple. Divine beasts are creatures that represent the heads of families. So Camilla doesn't understand why he's bothering her. But the look on Dad's face, he looks so happy. The ghost said of course he's happy. To think how shameful it was, to think for 100 years, that the duchy had lost its beast. What a relief. But then everyone started calling Camilla, and she fainted. Kitty quickly ran to her. Everyone did not understand why this happened. Dorman told the lady that she needed to take medicine, but she understood it herself and wanted Dorman not to shout like that. Pierre said that if he were alive, you would have prepared something nutritious for her. Camille was grateful to him. The Duke shouted at the maids and did not understand why she did not wake up, told them to call another doctor. Camille did not want him to blame them because she just had chills. The ghost Duke asked the child to wake up. Because he needed to give her something, she was very curious about what it was. And Darren just cried over her. This is the hand, this is Brother Rudville Ravi asked her to wake up because he fixed the bracelet. If she doesn't wake up, he'll break it again. Camilla couldn't believe how he could say that about his sick sister. The main character began to feel something warm nearby. It was a tiger cub lying under her blanket. The girl grabbed him and asked why he was here again. No matter how you look at it, it's just a cat to cook. Dorman was simply delighted that the lady had woken up. The Duke ran into the room. He was very glad that she was feeling better. He of course had a lot of questions. She had lost so much weight, and it had only been a few days. The Duke said she needed to rest. But Camilla stopped her father and said that this baby. But the Duke interrupted her and said that it seemed that he was not eager to leave her. The main character didn't understand what he was talking about. When they tried to take him away, he started hissing at them and even used his claws. After a while, they found him here. But the Duke believes that, even so, he understands that he is the head of the family because he is not angry with him. And now she must have a good sleep, Dorman tells the lady not to forget to take these medicines. Camilla doesn't like animals, and she doesn't even know what to do. She decided to go to bed anyway. She climbed under the blanket without the cat, but he curled up into a ball next to her. It seems that the divine beast understands that she is sick and tries to support her health in every way. In the morning, they asked Camilla if she had jumped into the river to find the egg of the divine dawn. The Duke called her a fool and did not understand how she had decided to do such a thing. It had been a long time since she had been scolded. The girl apologized and said that she had made sure that no one was around, so it would not harm the family's reputation. The Duke didn't understand what she was talking about. Because that wasn't the problem. Rudville said it didn't matter. Ravi asked if she was an idiot because he didn't understand what reputation had to do with it. The main character was shocked that she was being scolded, not because she, the lady of the Sorful family, had behaved irresponsibly, The Duke told her to try not to do such rash things again. Camilla noted that it was not so dangerous. The cat was near the lady again. She was surprised and did not understand why he was following her. The Duke said that it was because the divine beast liked to absorb other people's energy. Camilla asked again. Divine beasts grow from pure energy. That's why he wants to be with Camilla all the time. Now the girl understood that because of this, he continued to lick her. It was enough for them to just be near the person he liked. He doesn't have to lick Camilla. In that case, Camilla took him off herself. The girl asked if it was okay that he was with her all the time. The Duke said that even if he was the head of the family, it didn't mean that the divine beast was his. Camilla didn't understand what he was talking about. The man just said that it was the way it was. Usually the head of the family has the purest energy, which is what the divine beasts like. But in their case, it seems that Camilla was gifted with it. That idiot's divine beast was also interested in her. The last time he came, it was about Camilla. The red eagle was looking for her. The girl didn't understand why her. The Duke didn't know because he refused to answer. The main character cannot be sure that everything will be fine if this kitten stays with her. The father once again thanked Camilla, because thanks to her, there is no trace left of their regrets, and he is glad that the feminine beast can finally return to them. That was good. Camilla hoped that she had at least distanced herself a little from a terrible fate. He believed that the girl deserved a reward, and if Camilla wanted anything, she should let the Duke know. After all, she brought to them someone they had no hope of finding. In any case, all the wealth of their family rightfully belongs to her. Camilla was delighted and thought that she should ask for a little bit now, because it was unclear what would happen next. Money is needed now more than ever, but she can't ask for it directly. She asked her father to give her what he had on the table. The Duke asked if she even knew what it was. Camilla said that of course she knew, because it was a mine, or that was too much. Father said that it is not so at all because he can give her as many of these mines as he wants. It is just that she is not particularly useful. He just took a closer look at her, but they found nothing profitable there and offered her to take the ruby mine in the south. But she said that she had done her own investigation because she wants to develop this unsightly mine herself. She asked our father if they had agreed, and he of course agreed. Camilla was very happy, very grateful to her dad. The ghosts did not understand why she was so happy, because it was an ordinary black stone. It seems she is not so experienced after all. Camilla said it was a breakthrough. The butler asked if she knew what it was. This is a magic stone. The butler apologized and said that the magic tower itself was studying them. According to research, the amount of mana inside these stones is so small that they are hardly useful. Camilla said that was the point, that the magic tower was studying them. The ghosts didn't understand what she meant. It was a magic stone after all, and it was unclear who else would be doing this. Camilla said that black magicians can do this, which the magic tower does not have. Magicians are divided into white and black. Since the latter use mana differently, they were previously feared and mostly ignored. But now, people have started to take an active interest in their skills. And in order for the current to increase from this stone, you need to turn to black magicians. They don't react to white mages at all, but they will be incredibly valuable to their fellows. Moreover, if I purify them, even white mages will be able to use them. A real treasure for any black mage. Camilla told Mr. Herschel that she overheard something. It seemed like he was about to give her something. When she came to the cemetery, she heard the roar of many ghosts. At least something remains unchanged. The Duke called her to him. Camilla asked why she had come all this way, and she hoped that they would make her dig up someone's grave. He told her ahead of time. The girl simply couldn't believe it. Camilla didn't understand if he was serious about wanting her to dig up the grave. She certainly guessed that he was capable of such a thing. The girl refused. She may not have the best reputation, but digging in the grave of ancestors is too much. The Duke didn't understand what she was talking about, because he wasn't asking her for anything like that. She just had to dig, and that was it. The girl began to dig with her heel. Camilla thought that he could have warned her, then she would have taken the shovel with her. What an amazingly useful thing. Heels. At that place, the girl found a seed. The Duke said that it was medicine, a powerful antidote. Camilla did not understand what it was doing there, if it was medicine. The man remarked that he was sure that she had heard about his death. The main character confirmed this. He was cruelly poisoned. The ghost noticed that she did not mince her words to the victim. It was a very powerful poison. The energy in his body did everything to resist him, even though it was too late. Well, even after death, it continued to fight. And after his body rotted, too. Actually, that's what happened. Camila immediately threw it out of her hands. The ghost didn't understand how she could do that to the precious seed. The main character asked if it was possible to be more specific about what it was. It was a product of what had cleansed his body. It could neutralize any poison. He asked Camilla to take him with her, so she wouldn't have to worry about being poisoned anymore. Camilla was killed in many different ways, but poison was never the cause of death. The main character did not know whether she would have the opportunity to use this gift, and Camilla asked if there was anything else like a hidden treasure that only he knew about. The Duke laughed and said there was no such thing. The ghost turned to Camilla again. The girl did not understand what this time and what he wanted her to do now. The man stroked her head and was very grateful to her. The man gradually began to dissolve into thin air. It seemed that he had no regrets left. Camilla promised that she would take care of his seed and thanked him. The Duke told her to take care of herself. Camille needed a black magician in order to use those stones from her father's mine. She needed the appropriate power. The problem is that black magic only lives in one place. It seems she has no choice but to turn to him. But Camilla is ready for this. When she entered the classroom, no one understood why Camilla was there. Many thought that she decided to do something again. The guys decided that she came specifically to meet Pedro. She's a real stalker. Wherever the girl goes, everyone talks about her. She approached the guy and said with a smile that she needed help with something and asked if he had time, and also apologized in advance. Black mages are a special community, and they live in a lonely castle, which is in the possession of the Duke of Sephra. In order to sell the stones from that mine, she needs to come to some kind of agreement with them. Arshan is known for his rude nature. Therefore, she would not like to get involved with him. But she needs money. However, he won't kill the Duke's daughter, even if she is only formally one. She had the bracelet from her brother. With her Arshan, simply stood up and walked past her, ignoring the girl. But Camilla needs to get an answer today. She has to catch up with him. But suddenly, someone grabbed the main character by the hand. It was Pedro, the guy asking Camilla if something was bothering her. He was very curious about what urgently brought her to Arshan. Camilla politely asked him if he could let go of her hand, but he wouldn't let go. And he asked her to tell him what happened and why she needed this guy. Camilla said that nothing had happened and asked if he had any more questions. Pedro didn't know what they were doing there, but he suggested that she tell him, and he would pass it on to Arshian. The girl did not understand why he, Mr. Pedro, would pass on her words to the guy. Pedro said that it was not nice to talk like that about a classmate, but Arshian could put her in danger. Camilla was very grateful for the concern. If that was all, then she was off. She slipped away, just like last time. She didn't understand where he was and where he was. He had just been here recently, and she didn't understand at all when and where he had managed to disappear too. The ghost asked if she was looking for Arshid. The girl said that she knew where he was and could help with the search. Camilla agreed and said that she would be grateful, but when she turned around, she saw that it was a ghost. The girl knew she could see it. It was Amy, the ghost of Fabler Academy. This is the same ghost that constantly comes to life behind Camilla. The girl thought that Emmy's ghost was a resident. The ghost noticed that their eyes met several times. She thought she was imagining things, but it turns out that she really does see her. Camilla had no idea where this scoundrel had gone. Emmy said that it would not work to pretend that she didn't notice her. Camilla asked what she wanted from her. She introduced herself and said that she really knew where Arshian was now, and asked again if she was looking for him. But the main character said that she didn't want to get involved with him, and turned away. Emmy didn't understand the reason at all, and she thought that it was because she was a ghost. Camilla said that was true, and she would find him herself. Emmy was glad to talk to someone for the first time in so many years. Arshian is not one of those who like crowded places. The place where he can be is the lake. Emmy asked if she planned to go all the way to the Lake of Souls. Camilla didn't understand what she wanted from her, because she said she didn't want to get involved with her. She's a ghost. Camilla told her to fly and have fun with the other ghosts. Emmy said that all the ghosts in this school are very boring. The main character didn't understand what she wanted from her. Emmy said just to chat. Camilla asked her if she looked like a person with a lot of time, but still decided to ask if she knew where Arshian was now. Didn't ask where he was. Emmy? Well, it seemed to the side behind the girl. When she turned back, she saw Arshian there. She was very curious since when he was standing there, Emmy said, since she came here. Now, the main character understood that he had been standing here from the very beginning, and it turned out that he had heard her talking to the ghost. Camilla said with a smile that she walks and likes to talk to herself. Yes, she herself understood that this would 100% not work. The guy shouted that he knew she could see them. Camilla didn't understand what they were talking about. Arshian asked if she could see them too. Camilla asked him why he was so angry, because she was scared. In order to test her, he puts the ghost in danger. The main character asked the ghost if she was okay. Emmy said that she was not okay at all, because she thought she was going to die. Camilla said that she was already dead. She thought that you would disappear from this world altogether. Emmy guessed that he was a predator and hunted people like her. Camilla asked if he could send ghosts to another world. Arshian was shocked that she also talks to them. Arshian didn't understand why he had to do such tedious things. Camilla kept asking why he had been putting on airs before. After all, he should have seen how pale her face was from fear. The guy was just horrified that she could see their faces. Camilla said that, of course she could see them, and asked how he was doing with that. The gentleman admitted that in his eyes they were like black smoke. It turns out that Arshian cannot see the appearance of ghosts. Camilla said that in that case, it is even more impossible to just take them and scare them. After all, he does not know what kind of ghost is in front of him and sends him to the next world. The main character didn't think that she would ever protect a ghost. There are so many good ghosts among them. And then Camilla thought she realized that she had yelled at him. With his nasty character, it was unknown what he might come up with. I had to apologize quickly. Arshian asked if she saw this too, but the girl didn't understand what he meant. It's near him. Camilla noticed that there was a child standing next to him. It was a thin boy of about 7 years old. Arshian asked in horror who it was. Camilla did not understand at all why he was so surprised. The guy immediately ran away. The main character didn't understand at all what it was. He just turned around and left, and she had been looking for him for so long. You can't show up so suddenly and then just leave. The main character thought about what happened to that boy and what kind of death he had. His ghost was so skinny, skin and bones. That's why she doesn't like ghosts. If she sees anything strange, she'll think about it all the time. Papa told Camilla to name the divine beast. She named him King, so that he would be better than all of them, more than the other divine beasts. Ravi teased her that it was too simple a name, but she didn't think it was any worse than a chocolate name like Jetty. She hoped that the baby liked the name. Well, she didn't know what to do now. She thought that it was not worth bothering Arshian anymore. It is unknown what he can do to her if she talks to him again. That is why all dark magicians are referred to them. The Duke Sifra family is closed off from the outside world in order to protect the divine beast that controls darkness. They do not tolerate even the slightest interference from the imperial family. So she turned to Arshian. Camilla couldn't even show him the mineral. Suddenly, the girls became very interested in what it meant to control darkness. Despite having lived this life many times, Camilla had never encountered the Duchy of Sifra or Arshian. However, she had heard many rumors. The Sefra Duchy's divine beasts are the black wolf possessing enormous strength. Where its strength manifests, there is only death. Camilla wondered if she had chosen the wrong name for the divine beast. He was so tiny. Camilla told King that if they had to fight, he should run away without thinking. He would win if he stayed alive, and he should remember that. Emmy told Camilla that she was cool today and asked if she would study. Before she sat silently in the corner of the classroom, but now she came to life. Camilla could not imagine that the first person in the class would speak to her would be a ghost. Such a mixed feeling. But she decided not to pay attention to her. Find the divine beast, she got points in karma. Now she needs to pass the midterm exam with flying colors. Then she will gain her father's favor. Everyone became very curious about why he came here. Camilla was also surprised when she saw Arshian next to her. She didn't understand at all what Arshian was doing here. He told her that he needed to talk to her. This surprised Camilla, and she asked again. And the girl asked what she would get in return. The guy asked again, and Camilla said that he was asking you to give him her time, and she should get something in return. Arshian said anything, he would do whatever she wanted. He seemed so important at first. Something must have happened, because he wouldn't just suggest something like that. There's clearly something wrong here. Then he asked Camilla if she could talk to ghosts, and she confirmed it. The boy turned his head and told the kid to ask. The boy asked who he was. No matter how much Camilla looked, she was still surprised at how thin he was. Camilla sat down next to him and said hello. She also gave the boy a candy and asked if he wanted some. The kid asked what it was and was wondering if it was edible. Camilla told him that it was candy and that it was edible. Apparently, he doesn't even know what candy is. The main character was very curious about what happened to him. Arshian asked her what she was doing. Camilla fed him because he was very hungry. The guy was surprised that ghosts can eat human food, but Camilla said that it was impossible. They try not with the food itself, but with the energy that is in the food. Better that than being completely hungry. Camilla asked if he wanted more, and the boy happily asked for more. By the way, Camilla asked his name. The boy's name was Seer Arshian. Asked what she said. Arshian asked near him. The ghost boy burst into tears and called him brother. The main character believed that this was Arshian's younger brother, judging by the reaction of the boy and the baby. Arshian told his brother to eat it, but he said he was not hungry. The younger brother suggested that they share it and eat it together, but the elder brother told him to eat everything himself. Seer apologized to his brother with tears. The only food they were given was a small piece of bread and a glass of water. It is unknown how much longer Seer can hold out. If you want to live, kill. Only one can leave this prison. Only then will he be able to feel the darkness. You have to kill your own brother to feel this damn power. Arshian thought it was okay if he died, and he wouldn't let Seer die, not for anything. Suddenly, his younger brother fell down and started screaming. Arshian picked him up and asked what was wrong with him. Arshian started screaming for the doors to be opened. He was in tears, and his younger brother was calling him. Arshian was just begging for those doors to be opened. Seer laughed. Arshian didn't understand how he could laugh at such a moment. The boy said that he was glad that now his older brother would be able to get out of here. Arshian asked in horror what he was talking about, and Seer only cried and apologized. The boy did not have time to tell his brother that he loved him. Camilla thought it was very nice. He must be very happy to find out about his brother's existence after 10 years. Arshian asked if his brother was saying anything, and the boy only asked for candy. Camilla did not understand at all why she should be between them, and also why she had to translate from the language of ghosts. Camilla said that he was asking for more candy. Arshian asked if she had any more candy. She gave it to him because she felt sorry for the child. Seer was absolutely delighted Camilla told him not to be shy, because he could eat everything. He really is very cute. It would be nice if he got a little better. Camellia was very interested in the way to fatten up the ghost. The main character said that she would go now, but Arshian forbade her. The girl said that she had no more sweets. Arshian firmly said that he would buy some. In that case, she wanted to talk to him. She asked him since when he began to see such creatures. The guy thought about it and said that after this guy died, Camilla asked if he knew there was a ghost near him, but he did nothing. Or maybe he doesn't know how to get rid of them. Arshian said he knows all members of their family can get rid of such creatures. Camilla didn't understand why he left him. Then Arshian just wanted to leave everything as it was. Since childhood, Seer wanted to follow him. He thought that after death, he would continue to do the same. And so it turned out. The main character told Arshian that the boy was hungry, so he should go and buy something. For the first time in his life, he envied someone. Arshian also really wanted to see him. Camilla came to Arshian and said that he should sign this. All the girls in the class were shocked that she was talking to him informally. Everyone was very curious about what happened between them. Camilla was shocked that he signed without even reading the contents. This document is about cooperation with a dark magician. The content is simple. It consists only in the dark magician helping her. But the main thing is that the heroine did not think that he would just take and sign it. Arshian repeated once again that he had already said that he would do whatever he wanted, and he handed her the contract. If they had a written document, then he would not be able to argue with her in the future. Camilla said that she wanted to show him something. Everyone didn't understand what was going on. Everyone couldn't believe that it was that same Arshian. Everyone was in complete shock that that the guy said he would do anything, many thought they misheard it. Camilla greeted Cyr. That's it. They hadn't seen each other for only a day, and he was as scared as if it were the first time. The main character suspected that this would happen, and prepared something. She brought him crispy cookies as a gift. She baked it, especially for the boy. Cyr was very grateful. The main character constantly wants to feed him treats because he looks like a hamster. Arshian asked her what she wanted to show him. She took a stone out of her pocket. The guy realized that it was a magic stone. He recognized it immediately. Arshian took it in his hands. Here it is, the power of the dark magician. This stone has quite a strong energy. Arshian found this interesting because the old men would be ready to go out of their way for him. Camilla was simply delighted. The girl said that this is the smallest of all that she has. There are much larger ones. Arshian asked her again what she meant. Camilla admitted that she needed the power of the dark mages, and noted that this magical stone was from her mine. These stones only react to the power of dark mages. She is becoming more and more convinced of this each time. Of course, other mages can also process it. Arshian noted that of course the result would be different. Camilla agreed with him, and then the guy said that he would pass it on to one person. Arshian brought it to his father, Duke Sephra. He did not understand what it was. Arshian added that a girl asked him to give it to him. The Duke noticed that it was a magical stone of the highest level, but then he realized something, and immediately asked what she wanted. Arshian said that she wanted to make a deal. The Duke ordered to bring her here. The guy said that they would come here tomorrow. The Duke asked Arshian how much longer he had to wait. Maybe he was tired of it all. He wanted it all to end quickly. Sephra was shocked by what his son told the girl. It was the first time he had done something at someone's request. Besides, he had come to him himself. The next day, everything looks as usual. The main character did not imagine this duchy like this. She thought it would be a gloomy place, teeming with ghosts. The lady was greeted by the maids. Their servants are also very ordinary. Camilla was shocked that Arshian entered his father's room without even knocking. When the girl saw Duke Sephra, she was very surprised. She wondered if Arshian would be like that in the future. Camilla greeted him and said it was a great honor to meet him, and introduced herself. The man said it was unexpected. This surprised the main character quite a lot. The Duke told her to sit down. He heard that she wanted to make a deal. She said that she wanted him to help her process the stones for sale, and 10% of the proceeds would be his. The Duke noted that without the participation of a dark mage, it was simply a useless stone, and asked if she thought 10% would be enough. Camilla laughed and said that the dark magicians themselves wanted to get this stone. The Duke thought about it. Camilla decided that she would get rid of all these stones, and they would get nothing either. The gentleman said that if she promised to sell them to them first, he would agree to the deal. Camilla said, "Okay." The Duke asked what that meant. Camilla meant that she agreed. The girl said that she was drawing up a contract and would come to him again. He agreed. The Duke remarked that their black pet seemed to like her because he wouldn't leave her side. Camilla pretended not to see him. At some point, it seemed like she was called, and she looked at him. She couldn't believe that he realized that she was seeing a divine beast. This kid wasn't the type to pay attention to strangers. It is said that she sees the future, and even found the egg of a divine beast. Surprisingly, she sees the beast, although he did not call it. The girl said that she usually didn't get involved in other people's business, but she couldn't help but ask about it. She doesn't understand why this boy is hugging him so tenderly. What is Cyr doing, and why is this so? A few days ago, Camilla had never been interested in ghost stories in her life, but his case haunts her. Camilla asked if she could ask him a question. Cyr agreed. He had a cut on his back, and Camilla was wondering if his older brother had done it to him. The boy stood up and shouted that it was not so. She asked who it was then, and the boy admitted that it was his dad. He said that this was necessary in order to become the master of the divine beast. Sierra's story about the Sephra family comes as a huge shock to the main character. Simply the worst family of the worst. Dad beat his brother all the time every day. One day it became unbearable for him to watch his brother being beaten, and he decided to cover it with himself, and that's how this wound appeared. Only the one who is filled with hatred, anger, and resentment could become the owner of the sacred animal. It turns out that for centuries, heads of families were raised in this way. They were locked in the dungeon for the last 3 months. The brother was released after Cyr died. Camille couldn't believe they were keeping them locked up until one of them died. The Sephra family was definitely not right in the head. It was just awful. The main character felt very sorry for this boy. At least now she will take care of him and feed him cookies. Camilla didn't understand at all because she thought that Seer hated his father, but in fact he loved him. The main character did not understand how it was possible to hug with love a father who literally killed you. The Duke asked if Seer was crying. The main character confirmed his words. Arshian got very angry. He asked if that was all and if he wanted to say anything else. The gentleman said that that was all. Arshian slammed his fist on the table and asked if he was serious. Now he had the son he killed standing in front of him, and he seriously didn't want to tell him anything. Sephra didn't understand what he was supposed to say. Arshian laughed. Camilla tried to calm him down, but he told her not to meddle in other people's business. Camilla doesn't exactly want to get involved in their family squabbles, but he doesn't see it. Sir blocked Arshian's way. Sir apologized many times and cried. Camilla said that he was asking his brother for forgiveness. Arshian was just horrified and didn't understand what he was apologizing for. Sir said he said do it. He said he would go to the basement himself. Camilla asked what he meant. Arshian asked what he was saying. Sir said with tears that Dad was not guilty of anything, and it was he knew. He knew that he had a couple of months left to live. He overhears the conversation between Dad and the doctor. That's why he said that the last test would come, so his brother would become the master of the beast. He didn't want his brother to go through all this so hard Dad wasn't to blame for his death. When he died, he saw Dad cry for the first time. Camilla told him all this. The Duke said he was simply fed up with it all. There was no other reason. Then he understood. Why did the previous family heads want to die so much? The family's divine beast was always found in the same place, in the body of its master. The beast's face could only be found in the body of its owner. That is, it would have to be ripped open. The most useless thing in their family is emotions. The beating of his childhood and the death of his brother. All this was done to rid Arshian of useless feelings. He needed Arshian to be angry and hate him so that his anger would overwhelm his emotions and he would kill him. The Duke asked to kill him and get the beast's egg. That's all Arshian has to do. Camilla didn't really understand what was going on. It was brutal. She felt like she wasn't supposed to know about it. Camilla turned to her brother. Ravi asked what she wanted from him. The girl asked what he was doing. Ravi asked if she could see and, by the way, asked what she was doing here because she had not come here before. Camilla asked if she really needed a reason to come to him since he was her brother after all. Camilla asked her brother what kind of person their father was. Ravi didn't understand what she was asking because who could know him better than her? She had become closer to him recently, but Camilla asked about their biological father. Ravi asked again if she wanted to know about her biological father, and he didn't understand why she wanted to. Camilla said she was just curious. The main character wondered if he was as terrible as her father from that world. She had been watching this life for a long time, but I've never heard anything about Camilla's biological father. Ravi said the dream doesn't remember him either, and he asked why she suddenly decided to ask about him. Camilla said that she just wanted to know, again, just the ring she lost then. It was a gift from their real father to their mother. Other than that, Ravi knows nothing else. If she has everything, then she must leave here. Camilla turned to her brother again. Ravi asked what else. The girl asked if he was busy. This made him very angry. Ravi shouted that if she wanted to say anything else, she should say it all at once because he was already up to his neck in work. Camilla asked if he wanted her to load him up even more. She gave him a gift in the form of a stone. Ravi asked what it was. When he noticed that it was a magic stone, he asked where she got it from. The girl said it was a secret and ran away. Ravi kept asking her to tell him where she found it. She decided to entrust the advertising to him. Emmy asked Camilla what she was holding in her hands, thinking it was a contract. How happy Camilla is, all that's left is to earn some money, and then she'll leave this tyrant's house and live a carefree life. In the meantime, she needs to finish the contract Darren helped her with drawing up the contract. He told her which points she absolutely had to add. The treaty does not yet have the signature of Duke Sephra Seer, came to Camilla calling her sister. Emmy noticed that this was the same child who was always hanging around with Arshian. Camilla was covering her mouth because she said his name too loudly. Camilla asked the boy what was wrong and thought that maybe something had happened to his brother. Seer asked his sister Camilla to stop his brother. A couple of minutes ago, the man noticed Arshian Sefru. He noticed that the guy had been rather quiet lately. He wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to leave a mark on the Duke's family. The man decided to start with praise. He started saying that Duke Sifra is so incredible and that you change the empire and families. He is fair, honest, and has outstanding abilities. If he had such a father, he would not need anything else in this life. Arshian turned around. You told him to shut up because he doesn't know anything and is talking nonsense. The guy said that he just admired him, and he was glad that the empire had such an outstanding person as his father. Arshian told him to shut his mouth again. The guy said that he was nothing to Arshian, and he didn't have a great father like him. He praised his father and asked if he thought anyone else would say something like that to him. Since his father was a duke, he imagined himself to be a duke too. Arshian immediately punched him in the face, and he fell. The guy didn't understand what he was doing. Arshian angrily asked if he knew what his father was really like. Horror. Someone needed to stop her. No one understood who would dare to do this. Suddenly, Camilla came and poured water on Arshian. She told him to cool down. The girl asked who would take him to the medic. Camilla noticed a familiar face. She apologized and asked him to clean up the place. Pedro was very surprised by her words. Camilla went to Arxian and told him to come with her. No one understood what was going on. Camilla called him a good boy for splashing his anger on me in front of people and asked if he felt better. Arshian said it was none of her business. She didn't really want to get involved. Camilla got involved because his brother came to her crying and begged her to stop him. He looked away and turned away. Camilla was shocked that he now didn't want to see his brother either. Everything got confused. After he found out that his hated father had his own reasons, Camilla knew he was angry, but no one told him to forgive him right now. He said that Camilla didn't understand anything. One of her friends almost died at the hands of her own father. Anger is a natural feeling in such a situation. It is obvious that such a person evokes hatred, even if that idiot had his reasons. Maybe there were some reasons, but what he had to go through will never disappear from memory. And she will give him one piece of advice. He should leave everything as it is. Arshian asked again. Camilla told him to just give in to his feelings. There will come a time when he will get tired of this, constantly hated. There will come a time when he will stop experiencing this. The main character told him not to try to understand what she meant now, or he could do as he knows. The victim says that he will hate the offender all his life, but who will curse him then? Why should they who have received deep wounds think about such things? It's unfair, very unfair, Camilla asked Arshian. When he managed to hurt his hand, she asked him not to make Seer cry anymore. Because the boy cries when Arshian is in pain, she bandaged the boy's hand and left. And then she remembered that he could heal himself with magic, and she thought that she had given him the handkerchief in vain. Around this time, Duke Sefra died. He was not ill, there were no incidents. He just died suddenly. Arshian took over his father's status. Chaos reigned in the school. Various conversations began to circulate. Seer said that his father was always like this. He asked to grow his strength quickly and kill him. Remembering Seer's words, Arshian will most likely kill Duke Sifra father, begging not to kill him. This family is something special. After the death of Duke Sefra, only one person could control Arshian. That was Layla. Camilla thought it would be a good idea to play it safe. The boys were talking about Jude dropping out of school. He also heard that his family had gone bankrupt. They say that suddenly all their partners had turned their backs on them. Maybe it was for the best. Everyone agreed, because this idiot was obnoxious. Layla remembered that he was the same one who had pestered her in the forest. And then she remembered Camilla. Then she couldn't even thank her properly, and she was already thinking about giving her a gift. The girls came up to Layla and said that they were looking for her. They asked what she was doing. Layla answered that she was reading a book. The girls realized that this meant she was free and asked if she had done all her homework. Today, she had to hand in her history homework before lunch. Layla understood what they meant and said that she had made it yesterday. They remarked that it was cool, but they couldn't do anything about it. Yesterday, urgent matters suddenly arose at home, so she couldn't do it. And the second one also had no time for homework at all. The girl said that it needed to be chopped off. The father said that if it failed, he would not leave it that way. Layla told her to help her and said that she could do something like her homework. She only told her not to copy exactly, like last time, otherwise she would be scolded again. The girl promised that she wouldn't. The girl walked away from her quite a bit, but suddenly Camilla snatched the book from her hands and asked if she was a fool. This is the same lady, Camilla. The girl noted that they had not seen each other for a long time. Camilla asked if they knew each other. The girl asked Camilla to return it. Camilla asked if the thing was her property. The main character said that it wasn't even her notebook, and asked why she was demanding it back. The girl assured her that Layla had lent it to her. Camilla asked the girl if she had heard any rumors about her. She said that the Duke of Sorfel's daughter was a fortune teller. Looks like the rumors haven't reached us yet. Sometimes she even sees people's pasts. Camilla asked if she wanted to see what she did yesterday. Yesterday after class, she met her friends, and they had fun all night. They had so much fun that she didn't get home until the early morning. That's why I didn't do my homework. Camilla asked me to tell her what they did yesterday, with whom and what exactly they did. The girls apologized for disturbing, to be honest. The main character doesn't know what happened next, and what they were doing. It's good that she ran away. Camilla asked Layla why she got into trouble every time they saw each other, and she helped her again. The lady thought that Layla was a smart girl who wouldn't let anyone bully her, but it turned out that she didn't know what to do when she was under pressure. The girl was shocked that guys liked such clumsiness and weakness. Maybe she was just playing. Layla asked Camilla if she really had the gift of prophecy. It was not true, of course, but she remained silent. All the businesses in Hebley County have closed down. As a result, the Earl will soon return to the village. Apparently, he had some money left to buy a house in the village. If he raised his son like that, he should take responsibility for him. And indeed, Mr. Juita had quite a few problems. He suddenly became interested in him and asked to make inquiries about him, and made the whole family go bankrupt. The assistant was very interested in what the Duke was thinking, and the gentleman was thinking about how he dared to approach her. The Duke asked, "What about the academy?" The answer came immediately from there. They said that they would properly ensure security at the school. The donation was accepted. The director would come to visit him soon. The gentleman said it was not necessary and ordered to tell him to watch the students more carefully. By the way, he asked if the Duke had heard the news. They say that the Duchy of Sephra is preparing to present a new magic stone. The Duke couldn't believe that they had found a new mine for extracting magic stones. Because of this magic stone, a magic tower was built, and new magicians appeared. And all he did was watch Gabelle, who monopolized the magic stones. Apparently, things are going well for the dark magicians. It is not known how reliable this information is, but they say that the Duchy of Sephra is only engaged in the processing and sale of magic stones, and someone else is in charge of the stand. That is someone from outside supplies them to me. Duke Sephra accepted that as a request. He agreed to sell other people's stones. The Duke did not believe it. He says it can't be that this man is doing something like that. The assistant should have found out more about it, and as quickly as possible. Maybe something happened at the Duchy of Sephra. Father asked Arshian what he wanted. He told him to listen carefully. He will not kill him. He does not care now what he was thinking when he did this to him. And Seer, he still hates him and his father is disgusting to him. My father shouldn't think that he will die so easily. He will think and regret for the rest of his life for his terrible actions. The egg of the divine beast. There will be nothing like this in their family. Arshian has no intention of pulling it out. And he will prove to his father that even without this thing, he can become strong enough. He will show him that he will become stronger than everyone else, even without this beast. When he came out, he felt a great relief, as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He didn't have to live and be tied to his father. A few days later, he was sitting under a tree. Camilla came up to the guy and noticed that he had plenty of time. The girl asked why he was so wet. She assumed that he had been swimming. Arshian said that he was hot. Camilla poked his arm with her finger. The guy didn't understand what she was doing. The girl apologized and noted that he had a good body. You could tell he was strong. At least this way you can admire those muscles. Camilla noticed that he really trains hard. Camilla stroked his face and said that his face was still red. Or maybe he was sick. Arshian took Camilla's hand and told her to leave him alone. She asked him why a mage would train so much with a sword. Because he puts other swordsmen in an awkward position. Or maybe that's why Ravi hates Arshian. Arshian is different from other mages. He is not fixated on just one thing. This may seem strange to them. Camilla added that her brother does not like him. Arshian didn't know who her brother was, but she asked me to tell him that he didn't like it either. Of course, Camilla played her part in this. Arshian didn't understand at all what made her laugh so much. By the way, Arshian asked what it was, but Camilla said it wasn't for him. She prepared it especially for his younger brother Sir. She opened the cake and offered him a taste. Sir looked much better. Arshian's mood must have been much more stable. Sir said that he could go without food now because he was no longer hungry. The boy ran up to Camilla. He thanked her, apologized to his brother again, and said that he was very glad that Arshian was his brother. He really wants his brother to be happy. He finally said everything he wanted. Sir asked Camilla to take care of his brother. The girl said not to ask her about such a thing. The boys themselves noticed something strange about the request. The only thing he can do at the moment is to watch and save the memories. Camilla asked Arshian how he was, and if he was sad. The guy said that he was not really. Camilla said that she had prepared it for him. You need to eat when you feel down. Arshian said she said it wasn't for him. The main character asked who said that because she brought it to give to him, and he had to eat it all. Camilla added that the gods would punish him if he left the food. The boy remained silent, and at first tried to refuse. Weekend Duke Javelin remarked that it was very nice that she was home, and asked how she was doing. Camilla didn't understand why these people came here, because today is a day off. The girl greeted the dukes. Sorfel asked Seifer what his destiny was here for. Someone answered that Javelin had invited him along. The duke is surprised that this is the only reason he came here. Camilla wanted to relax, get free and go shopping. Sephra asked if there were any problems, and Sorfel noted that he was not the type to come because of a simple invitation. Camilla decided to leave them alone, but two dukes grabbed her hands and asked her to stop. The girl did not understand why and for what reason. Today, Javelin came because of Camilla. That's why she can't leave. First they'll go. The duke didn't understand where they were dragging his daughter. Duke Javelin has been acting like he has some business since last time. But what does Duke Sifra need? And then Pedro and Arshian came there. But Pedro wasn't going to help, and Arshian wasn't going to interfere. Pedro asked what they should do now, and he suggested going for a walk in the garden. He had looked in there last time, and it was very beautiful. Arshian was shocked by his suggestion to go together. Pedro was surprised and asked if he liked it. Because he would have liked it. Arshian said he was some kind of crazy Rudville called them, and said that if they were free, he would like to take a walk with them. Camilla sat with the three divine animals. Javelin apologized and said that his chick was constantly naughty. That's why he was here. By the way, it seems her tiger is stressed because of his baby. Camilla tried to calm King down. Such animals are very exhausting. Duke Sephra asked if they were saying that they both came to his daughter. He turned to Duke Sephra and asked if he had ever seen her before. Her divine beast was indeed small. Duke Sorfel said that he would grow up soon. Sephra thought that he was so small because he had been in the egg for a long time. The most important thing is that they found him. By the way, Sorfel recently heard some interesting news, and he asked Duke Sifra to tell him, honestly, where he got the magic stones from. After all, he processes other people's stones. Javelin asked if someone else owned these stones. Sorfel said not to keep quiet, and Javelin did not understand why he was doing this for others. It seemed that now they could leave. Camilla had managed to slip away unnoticed. She thought that now she could go shopping. On the way, she met Rub and asked him what he was doing there. He had just seen young Master Rudville Pedro and Arxion. Camilla was shocked that all three were together now. They said that the three of them would go for a walk in the garden. The girl was very interested in what the three of them were talking about. However, she didn't care. She'd better mind her own business. Dorman was telling the lady where they needed to go, and when he approached, who noticed that they were still following them. The main character did not understand at all why these three were pursuing her. Pedro laughed and remarked that he too wanted to take a walk around the fair, but Rudville said that it was dangerous for her to go alone. And Arshian was just bored. Camille just couldn't believe that they really had nothing to do. She decided to just ignore them as if they didn't exist. Dorman asked the Lord if she wanted to buy it, and Camille confirmed it. But it seemed to be a man's thing, and the servant thought she wanted to give it to the Duke. Camilla said something was wrong, because it was for Ravi's brother. Camilla said she would take it. He gave her a bracelet, and she thinks she should give him something too. Pedro remarked that he and his brother seemed to have a very good relationship. Camilla thought about them, and realized that it was somehow wrong that she had bought only one gift. Arshian didn't understand why he would give gifts to family members at all. Camilla didn't understand what was wrong with him. The salesman shouted that he had lots of beautiful jewelry and beckoned her to come and look before she left. Suddenly, Camilla saw Layla there and asked what she was doing there. The girl thought that her grandmother was having a hard time, so she decided to help her. The girl asked if she knew her, but Layla said no. In her entire life, the main character meets such a naive fool for the first time. For the first time, she sees such a stupid person who keeps smiling despite the bullying. Layla asked the lady if she wanted to look around, because there are many different beautiful things here. The lady asked her if she liked selling. Layla confirmed. In that case, if she likes it herself, then Camilla can't say anything. Dorman noted that she had already managed to get to know her. Camilla said that from now on, she would pretend that they did not know each other. The servant thought it was impossible. Camilla said to just go and not look back. Behind them, they were beating up Grandma, because she was sitting here selling all sorts of junk and not even thinking about paying the rent. She is already 2 months behind. The woman told the old woman that she should know that she has not paid for the insurance. Layla screamed at them to stop. That's why Camilla and doesn't want to be acquainted with her. This tires her out a lot. And then she remembered that Rudville and Layla had first met at the fair. The situation was not much different from the past. She could not believe that everything was starting gradually. Pedro remembered his grandmother, telling him that he was very kind. He must always help people and be polite to them. Only in this way can he become a good person. Layla asked what taxes. People who sell here pay taxes to the country, and she didn't understand what money they were asking for. The man said that it was none of their business, because they had their own law. But she was sticking her nose where she shouldn't, and it was unclear who she was. Pedro pulled out his sword and asked that uncle if he had been taught that he should not speak to his elders like that. Bad people, as always, very loud. Pedro apologized for the inconvenience and hoped that Lady Camilla had not been splashed with blood. Arshian said that everything was fine and that he should take it into my head. It's good that the dress didn't get dirty. This idiot is smiling despite stabbing a man with a sword. Pierre asked Camilla what she was doing, assuming that she was studying the map. She had just recently looked at it. Camilla just had a reason to hurry. After yesterday's trip to the fair, she finally realized that she was surrounded by crazy people. At school, he is very polite and showed only his good side. But what happened to him yesterday, it just gave me goosebumps. Rube informed the lady that she had a guest Camilla allowed him to enter. The girl didn't understand at all what brought her here. Layla said that she came to thank her, because yesterday she couldn't really do it. Camilla told her to sit down. Layla remarked that the weather was very nice today and asked how she felt about spending time outside. She also brought something for Camilla. They went to the garden. Layla said it was very beautiful there. Pierre remarked that she seemed to be a very good cook. The lady wondered when he had managed to tag along with her. Layla wished her a pleasant meal, but she didn't know if she would like the food. She had helped her many times over the years, and Layla wanted to do something for her. But unfortunately, that's all she can do. Camilla was shocked that she had prepared it all herself. Layla said that she had made this oil this morning. It was very tasty. She also grew strawberries and blueberries herself and offered her to try them. Camilla was shocked that she was also involved in agriculture. True agriculture is a strong word. Layla grows some fruits and vegetables for her family. Next summer you can try potatoes and corn. She planted a lot of them. Layla said she would make something tasty for her. It was a strange feeling, but it made her feel calmer. She seems to understand why everyone likes Layla. The weather is very nice this year, so everything is growing well. Layla wanted to do something more worthwhile for Camilla, so she apologized. But Camilla said she liked everything. The girl asked again, and the lady said that she liked it, and she was very grateful Pierre wanted to try it too. The main character was thinking about whether to give him food. But if she treats him, the other ghosts will find out about it and will also ask for food. She will be constantly pestered. Camilla decided she would take some with her. The midterms were over. The results were in. Everyone couldn't believe how this happened. She was at the bottom of the rankings not long ago. It's just unbelievable. Camilla is number 1. It was just wonderful. Everything was as I expected the main character. If everyone tried to solve the same test several dozen times, they would also get the maximum score. Emmy asked what the secret was behind the increased grades. She believed that the girl asked the ghosts to help her cheat, but she was in class the whole exam. so it's impossible Camille didn't believe that her performance was such a sensation. For example, she is more surprised by this. It is not entirely clear what is wrong with this guy. After all, they have never left the first line of the rating. But the most important thing is that Arshian took 5th place. He always handed in blank sheets. She was very interested in what happened to him. Arshian stood behind and asked with, "Whom I suppose with him?" The guy asked if she was so surprised by his assessments, and asked if she had ever seen a stupid magician. Camilla said yes, and he is. And by the way, he asked who is with her. The girl said that it is the same one he wanted to get rid of last time. Arshian didn't understand why she was always hanging around with her. Camilla laughed and said she didn't know. Arshian whispered in her ear that his father had told her to come see them sometime. Sales would be starting soon. So he said there were a couple of things to discuss. Camilla told him to tell him she'd be by in a few days. The main character didn't think he would talk to his father, but it looks like he's making contact. Layla came up to her. She came with congratulations because she is first in the ranking and is very proud of the lady. The girl said that when she comes home, she will definitely brag about the fact that her friend took first place at school. Her sincerity is sometimes frightening. Camilla asked again if she said friend. It sounds so strange. In that world, she never used that word. Layla said that last time, the lady had such an appetite that she decided to make more butter and jam. She was grateful and thought that Pierre would like it. Last time she did share Layla's goodies with him. He said they were divine. Professor JB came back. Everyone was asking how he was feeling. Everyone missed him very much, and how was his health? The professor said that, thanks to their care, he felt much better, and apologized for making them worry. Layla was very pleased to see him in full health. Camilla said that another one had been added. Layla was very interested in what she was talking about, and what or who had been added. Camilla asked her brother if he was busy. Ravi stood up and said he was not busy, and he wondered what it was this time. Anyway, here comes the killer. Ravi asks what she said, and asks if she saw anything again. Camilla said she didn't see it, but she was told Ravi asked if it was true. Camilla confirmed it. Camilla just needs to know what people in this world think about murderers, and would like to hear some advice. Ravi thought she was suspicious. The girl noticed that he had reacted so sharply. Ravi had warned her once again not to do anything dangerous alone, because this time, even her father would not forgive her. Ravi asked, "What the hell, why did she ask that killer?" That's a very serious statement. Anyway, Camilla's friend accidentally found out that her friend was a murderer. Ravi told her to tell her friend that she should turn him in. Camilla said, "What's the matter?" She said there's no evidence. Ravi asked how she knew that the man was the killer, if there was no evidence. The lady said there was no physical evidence, but the psychological evidence was very clear. People were dying one after another, but she doesn't know what to do to stop it. Ravi asked if the killer was a close friend of hers. Camilla said that was not true. Ravi asked if there was a chance that she would be his next victim. Camilla said that it did not seem so. Ravi told Camilla to tell her to forget about it. Camilla said he was a murderer. What if someone else died because of him? She said there was no evidence. If so, then reporting him would not work. She would only put herself in danger. Pretending she knew nothing was the best solution. If there was a murder, the garrison would take care of it, so she should give up, as she thought the answer was to sit and do nothing. If he climbs there, it will not end. Well, Camilla was very grateful for her brother's advice. She gave the gift to her brother. Ravi asked what it was. It was a fox. Ravi said he didn't even know because he had nowhere to put it. Camilla said that if that was the case, then let her give it back. Ravi jumped up and said that she was very hot-tempered. And suddenly, Ravi asked why she chose the fox. Camilla immediately ran away without answering. In fact, she is doing something that is completely out of character for her. In any situation, Camilla pretends that she didn't see or hear anything. The professor was glad to see Camilla. She greeted him too. She wondered if it was some kind of joke. As soon as the girl decided not to interfere, she immediately met with him. The reason he called her today, it's your last homework. Camilla was asking if there was something wrong with the homework. She thought she had done something wrong. The professor said the opposite. He had called her because her research was perfect, and he wanted to ask if she could use her history work that she had turned in. It seemed that the materials from the Duke of Sorfel's family library had been of great help to her. Camilla allowed it and asked if he had called her just for this. The professor asked if he could look at the materials from the original books. He liked them very much. Camilla said that unfortunately no, because these are very important books for her father. It was a great pity. He asked if she could help him. Then Camilla asked again. Since she had read those books, she could monologue to help him with his research. As far as he knows, those books are very hard to get on the continent, so he asks her. Camilla asked if he was forcing her to do this. Camilla said that in that case she would refuse. She said that they would see him in class. Apparently, he didn't think that she would refuse, because the professor was so surprised. If she didn't know anything, then probably she would have agreed. But even, would anyone want to approach this professor after seeing this just 7 female ghosts with strangulation marks on their necks, who look at Professor Jaba with a very offended, hateful look? It was strange, but there were people who were often haunted by spirits. She thought that Professor JB was one of those people. At first, there were 5 around him. Then one more was added. The professor said that if you turn to this method, you can find another way to solve it. And when he returned, there were 7 of them, and all of them were burning Professor JB with their cruel gaze. Looking at this, there is less and less doubt about his criminal activity. Only everything is too calm. 7 people were dead. Something had obviously happened there. She thought it would be big news. Camilla didn't understand why no one was talking about it. It was really getting on her nerves. The professor approached her and asked if she was feeling well or if something had happened at her home. But Camilla denied everything. The professor said that if something was bothering her, she could contact him. She knew that he was consulting with students. Camilla said she was aware of it. It's one of the reasons for the professor's popularity. She noticed a ghost behind the professor, an earring on only one ear. Camilla said that something had happened, but nothing important. She had just lost an earring somewhere the other day. The girl said that the earring looked like a purple violet. The professor asked again. She tried to get something out of him, but it didn't work. Camilla said not to worry about it. She'd buy new ones, and asked if she wanted to ask anything else. The professor would be grateful if she would think about his offer again. She can't sit back any longer. This is the only way left. Camilla started looking, and didn't understand if she was anywhere. She always hangs around her. Pedro asked Lady Camilla if she was looking for someone. The girl said that she was looking for someone. Pedro offered to help with the search, but she refused because he couldn't find her. Pedro asked if she was looking for Arxian, but she said that she wasn't. She turned to Mr. Pedro. The guy said that she could just call him Pedro. Camilla always fell for that smile, because it was the first time someone smiled at her so sweetly. She told him that he could stop behaving like that. Pedro was in complete shock. Dorman told her everything. When a soul incompatible with the body enters it, everything goes wrong, and the people around them turn away from such people. They don't get love. They are considered annoying, so this smile is fake. Camilla said that she says that it is not necessary to be kind to those who are indifferent to him. She knows he is a good person, so she may not behave like that with him in the future. If his smile is not genuine, then most likely Pedro wants to appear as a good person, and that is why he acts like that. But it gets boring when he's always so friendly, and offers to help. Camilla said she'd better go. Pedro doesn't care, but he continues to be polite. Good, kind Pedro. Mother told Pedro that she was very happy to have him. The lady said that the mistress was very lucky because she had a very obedient son. His mother had health problems all her life. Because of her constant illness, she had difficulty walking. Pedro's mother told him that it was time for them to go. Therefore, it was his duty to always be near her and help her move. Mother was happy to see him serious. The maids said that they would now take care of the mistress, and added that Pedro was very caring, but she enjoyed it even more when someone else praised him. Her patrol was very caring and kind. At such moments, her face would blush as if she were completely healthy. When her son smiles, she becomes happy. That's why Pedro always smiled widely. Mom said that he should always help the weak. That's why he always helped others. He never showed that he disliked anyone. Only in such a situation would Mom be happy. Even after her death, Pedro was still kind, and a smile was the only expression on his face. It wasn't that bad. Being kind means not hurting someone. Because of this kindness, he was always surrounded by people's attention. However, he does not know why he did it that day. In any other similar situation, he would have immediately intervened. At the time, he was wondering why Camilla was so persistently pursuing him. He was tired. However, after he left, he felt uneasy. Anyway, they were fighting because of him. Pedro decided that he couldn't leave and leave everything like that. He couldn't stand the feeling of shame and responsibility and returned, but the situation had already been resolved. They were both gone. Camilla was hanging around him every day anyway, so he would still have a chance. The man said goodbye to everyone. But after that, he couldn't see her for a while. A year had passed since his mother's death, and he and his friends came to her grave. Then he saw Camilla again. He was sure that she would run after him. After all, it was always like that. But after that day, she began to behave completely differently. She stopped pursuing him, and the uncertainty and anxiety disappeared. He became more interested in her. Since when did she stay close to Arshian? It seemed strange to him, and it irritated him even more. He did not understand why him. He is the one who does not care about other people's opinions, and he does as he pleases. Pedro felt strange. Seeing these two who didn't care about people's opinions, Pedro felt like standing between them. And after her words about him stopping behaving like that, the frame wondered, what was she talking about? The guy couldn't answer her. He felt that she recognized what he himself did not know. A good person. Insincere kindness. Can a person who shows kindness insincerely be good? The girls ran up to him and asked him what he was doing there, if he was free. How about having tea with them? Pedro was very curious about his expression now. The ladies were simply shocked. One thing he knows for sure, he is not smiling. Perhaps this expression was his real one. Pedro smiled and agreed to drink tea. He remembered his mother's words again. No matter what he heard in his direction, he would remain the same, following these ladies. He smiled widely as never before. Camilla looks for her everywhere, but she doesn't show up. And then Pedro ran into this. It's just a waste of time. It's not clear where she is at all. Suddenly, a voice was heard from behind, and the girl realized that it was Emmy. Camilla said that she had been looking for her everywhere. Where had she been all day? Emmy hugged her mistress and asked why she was looking, thinking that she missed her. Camilla asked to help her. She wants to ask her for something. Emmy was almost in tears in her eyes, shocked that she was asking her for help. Camilla didn't understand at all what she was so happy about. First, she had to follow Camilla because she had something to show her. Camilla asked Emmy if she knew Professor JB. There are ghosts around the professor. Emmy saw them. To be honest, the main character wants to know their stories. She asked Emmy if she could find out when, where, and how they died, and who killed them, and whether the professor really killed them. If they were having a hard time making contact, she could lead them to Camilla. But Emmy was silent. The main character didn't understand what was going on, and she thought she was just afraid. Emmy said there was no need to ask those women, and she touched her neck. The main character didn't notice before, but Emmy also has a wound on her neck. Professor JB is her older brother, the real older brother of the ghost Emmy. Rub greeted the lady. She reacted very dryly, so he offered a cup of hot tea, but the lady refused. The man noticed that she looked very tired. This surprised the girl quite a bit, and she asked again. As a child, she always felt better after eating a cup of soup. Rube asked what kind of soup it should be, but it didn't matter. Camilla asked where Dorman was. He was very busy redecorating the mistress's room. After all, the season had changed. It was time for a change. He always runs around Camilla with his help, and when needed, he is not around. Let them decorate the room. Rub took his leave and was ready to leave. Camilla stopped him and said that she had a favor to ask of him, but it was not a favor for a butler. Rube didn't understand at all. What was she talking about? Black Shadow, Camilla wants to ask the head of this place for something. Rube said he didn't understand what she was talking about, and it seemed he didn't quite understand her. Camille said she knew he was the head of the Black Shadow. In general, the lady is very tired, so they will meet a little later. Camilla went to her rooms. The Black Shadow is a secret organization that has been working with the Sorful family since its inception. Their job is to gather information. By order of the head of the family, this organization is spread throughout the continent, disseminating all kinds of information and also carrying out secret missions. Camilla learned about something that only the head of the family knows from the former head of the organization, Darren E. No wonder he really knows too much for a simple butler. In fact, the girl knew that he was not so simple. Besides, it was strange to see an old man with such a good physique. It is said that Rube was chosen as the successor when Darren was still the head. The other side of the butlers of the Sorfel house is the black fog. Rube entered the room and asked if the mistress was looking for him. The main character did not know whether he came not as a butler, but as the head of the black fog or not. The only person whose orders the black fog carries out is the head of the Sorfel family. They have no reason to bow down to anyone else. Camilla ordered him to investigate these people. Rube asked who they were. They were the ones who were already dead. Rube must find out in detail how they died and what happened in the area after their death. From what Emmy told her, Professor JB really did kill all the women. Camilla asked the ghost if her older brother really killed all those women. Emmy confirmed it all. They both grew up in an orphanage. The people who adopted Emmy made a slave out of her. She could be starved for any reason. After 8 years, her brother got back on his feet and came to take her away. But her adoptive parents demanded a huge amount of money in exchange for her. Her brother made every effort to take her away. But by this time, Emmy had already died. The story Emmy told her was terrible. Her adoptive parents claimed that she committed suicide. But in reality, Emmy was strangled by her adoptive parents. From that moment on, her brother started killing women. They say that something in him snapped and he started killing women. Let's say he went crazy after his sister's death and started killing. It's unclear why he killed women who were innocent. Not the adoptive parents who killed her sister Camille needs to know why JB did it. Rube understood her, but there is something he wants to know. How did she know that he is the head of the Black Shadow? Although no, how did she know about this organization? The main character understood that she couldn't say that his teacher, who had become a ghost, told her about this. Camilla said that she looks at him and constantly sees something. People unknown to her call him the boss. She also saw how her father values him. Rube said he wouldn't believe it because he didn't understand how she had learned the name of the organization that way. The girl noted that Rube seemed to have forgotten that she was the one who found the divine beast's egg. Rube agreed. Camilla said that if there were no more questions, she asked to find out everything quickly. Rube said that he was not allowed to fulfill such requests, but this time he would make an exception. The lady thanked him and told him to tell her father about it. This puzzled Rube, and he asked again. Camilla asked him again. Rube agreed to do so for now. A chief is a chief. He looked quite unusual. She doesn't want to do anything else today? She can't do anything anyway until the investigation is over. She needs to sleep and rest. 4 days later, the professor was simply delighted that Camilla would really help him with his investigation. He asked again if it was true. Camilla confirmed this and asked what exactly he needed help with. He would show her what he needed, and she would need to copy the relevant passages from the books. He was very grateful for this help. They agreed to meet a little later. The professor would prepare the necessary materials and tell her. After receiving the results of the investigation from Rube, she learned what all the women the professor killed had in common. And again, I realized that this freak is a real psycho. The murdered women had 2 things in common. Camilla didn't understand what he was thinking about. It was completely incomprehensible why he killed those women who lived in suffering just like his sister. And one more thing, what she fell asleep about. The killer's next target is her. She wondered if others thought the same, that her family treated her badly. The Duke asked Camilla if something had happened to her at school, but the girl said that she was just thinking about her own things for a while. Her father told her that if something happened, she should tell him immediately. Camilla agreed with a smile. The girl thought he wanted to say something else. The man asked her how she liked his suit. He was going to wear it to the imperial meeting. Camilla said it was very beautiful, and the color suited him too. But she couldn't understand why he was wearing it since that imperial meeting was next week. The Duke was simply worried that the suit was missing something. He remarked that if there had been some decoration, it would have looked much better. Camilla herself said that it would be nice. The man noted that a fox would not suit him, and it would be nice to hang something in the form of a tiger. Camilla believed that the tiger, because it is the divine animal of the family. Camilla remembered the fox decoration. Last time that nasty Ravi said he didn't like it, and then he put it on himself. The main character didn't even know that the Duke liked such decorations, but the expression on his face. He asked Camilla again if she thought the tiger would suit him. Now it was clear he was asking for the brew for himself. Rudville remarked that if you looked at it that way, One decoration would look good on his uniform too. Camilla didn't understand what was happening to him. But now the girl understood that next time she would have to buy 2 more brooches. And then in the near future, as soon as possible. Camilla came to Professor JB's house. She knew she had to pull herself together. It's a murder house where innocent women were murdered. But Camilla has no way back. The professor greeted the lady. He apologized for asking her to come to him on her day off. He just urgently needed materials for his research. Camilla said that it was okay because everything was fine. At first glance, it was a very ordinary house. Even though he was a murderer, he lived a completely different life than she had imagined. The professor told her to sit down. The man asked what tea she preferred. Camilla said any at his discretion. This seems to be the box Emmy was talking about. Camille needs to get it, because it's direct evidence. The tea tastes good, but the professor doesn't know if Camilla will like it. The lady said it had a nice aroma. The man beckoned to try it. The cup immediately flew out of Camilla's hands. The professor noticed that she was such a poor thing, and he said that he would help the lady, and she would feel better in a moment, so she should not worry about anything. But when he came closer, Camilla jumped up and hit him. She threw Ravi's bracelet at him. He got caught. The main character thought she was going to die. For some reason, she suddenly remembered her childhood. Now everything is fine. I need to come to my senses. Camilla is not the same little girl anymore. The professor shouted that she should have passed out, and he did not understand how this could be. Camilla told him what she had found out in advance. Having lured her into the house, he commits the murder by giving the victim tea with sleeping pills. Every time the same tactics. Now the professor understood that she had known from the very beginning that he was a murderer. He was very sorry. It would have made them both happy. Camilla did not understand at all what kind of nonsense he was talking. The professor said that it was hard for her to live with her fake family. It was better to die than to live in this torment. The lady asked for this reason, or the other women he killed. He doesn't know how she found out about it, but they wanted it themselves. They certainly found happiness because he freed them from suffering, and he in turn is glad that he was able to see how they became happy. Camilla knew he must have gone completely mad. Emmy said it was all because of her. He thinks that he is guilty of his sister's death. He suffered greatly because of it. Therefore, he decided to justify himself in this way, decided that death was not torture, but the only way to escape from reality. He did not want a woman in the same situation she was in to suffer. So he came to the murders to give them freedom. Camilla didn't even know what to answer to that. Camilla had heard so many things in her life. She ordered it to stop because she had heard enough of this man's complete nonsense. No matter how Emmy put it to her, her brother is a murderer. The professor said that when she stares into space, she talks to herself. He knew she had serious mental problems. It's all because her family doesn't like her. Camilla told him to shut up. It's better to die than to live. Camilla grabbed him by the hair and asked why he was deciding for her. Who was he to judge the happiness of others? The girl said that now she would see the whole truth. The man did not understand at all what she was talking about. Camille asked if he remembered Lady Dubray. She had a lover. They were going to get married after graduation, and she was ready to leave home and become his wife. And Lady Ruri put aside some of her pocket money and made a monthly donation to the orphanage where she grew up, because there were children there who were very dear to her. Lady Rotiel has been saving money since childhood to start her own business in the future. She wanted to leave her family after graduation and start living for herself. The professor shouted that this couldn't happen. He had never heard of it. It was a lie. Camilla asked if he didn't trust the Duke's informant. After all, she could show him the investigation papers right now. Who is he to decide for them what will be their happiness? The lady suggested judging the professor by his own method, because she thought he wasn't particularly happy either. She took the chains off him, and she grabbed him by the neck. She couldn't believe that he was asking for his life. She didn't understand how he dared ask for his life when he had killed so many people. Camilla asked if he was happy after all. Wasn't it he who said that death is happiness? The girl was interested in what he would say after being on the verge of death. She asked ironically if he was still happy. Rub came into the house. She asked him if Shar had managed to film everything they succeeded. Everything was filmed from the moment she lost consciousness until the moment Professor JB confessed to everything. Rube was so nervous for the first time. Thanks to him, this plan was successful. Camilla was grateful. Rube asked the lady what she was doing. The box contained the things of the women he had killed. He collected the things of all his victims. He is a real psychopath, but still these things will help to finally solve this case. After that, the women will be able to calmly pass away to another world. Camilla asked Rube to take care of the rest. The butler accepted the order. Now there will be no more killings. The cycle of injustice has finally ended. Ravi told his father that she had given up again. Camilla denied it. She thought that it had miraculously resolved itself. Rube, of course, set her up too. He told them about Professor JB's case. It would have been better if he had told her about it himself. Father asked Camilla what she was even thinking doing this, becoming bait for a serial killer. She can't even imagine how scared he was. Camilla said that Rube forgot about her. This made the Duke even more angry. Camilla admitted that she had acted thoughtlessly. The girl knew he would be angry, but she didn't think he would be that angry. And she didn't understand why Rudville was staring at her like that. She was scared. Ravi said that she needed to be scolded even more, because she had completely lost her fear. The guy didn't understand how she even got the idea to go there. So her story about the killer was about her, not her friend. What a fool he was to believe her since she has no friends. Brother asked Camilla if she knew she was walking around with a bruise. She was touched. Ravi told her to really come to her senses. Father believed that Camilla did not tell him about this because she did not trust him. But the girl said she couldn't tell because there was no evidence. Her father asked if that was why she decided to become the bait herself. It was because she couldn't let other women go through something like that. The Duke asked what would happen if something happened to her. Camilla assured him that she didn't mean it that way. He was worried about her. Father said that she must be very tired, so she can go to her room and rest. The Duke asked if his daughter was a good girl. After all, she found out about something wrong and did not pass by. He noted that she was just like him. The brothers were shocked by his behavior because their father was not always so gentle. The court has passed a verdict in this case. The defendant confessed to everything he did. All the evidence provided was related to the victims. Therefore, he was tried and sentenced to death. The trial of Professor JB was fairly quick, and the execution took place almost immediately after the verdict was passed. In the end, everything turned out like this. She was worried about her brother's crimes, but now it's all over, and Emmy can finally rest easy. But Camilla said it wasn't over. It was just the beginning. She wondered if she knew why all these crimes were so little known, because the parents of the victims hid their deaths. When they saw their deaths, which were staged by the professor, they thought that the girls committed suicide because of abuse within the family. The main character decided that it would expose them all and hand them over to the press. By the way, the girl asked who adopted Emmy. A week later, in the palace of Sifra, the Duke made a move and checkmated Arshian. He won again. The father asked him what he was thinking. Arshian thought about the rune. He didn't think he could trust it to just anyone. He asked his father who she trusted so much, since he lent it to her for no reason. Father said he trusted him. A guest came to him. Camilla noticed that he kept his promise. Duke Sifra and Arshian. The Duke remarked that she had done well. I did not even need to look after her. The girl came to return what she had borrowed from him. The Duke thanked her for helping Seer's soul reach the other world, and he wanted to reward her for it somehow. She said that as a reward, she wanted the two of them to play chess for an hour every day. Seer would be very happy to see them playing together. Arshian lost again today. Camilla told him that he needs to try harder. Camilla was grateful that he trusted her with rune. Thanks to him, they were able to complete everything successfully. The lady said that she needed him to help children who were abused, and he in turn maintains his power through violence. Camilla was delighted that he remembered it. The Duke noted that painful stories are inevitably remembered. The truth is always something that hits us very hard. The divine beast rune has a special skill. The animal can take the form of a dead person and present it in front of the chosen object in this form. With the help of rune's ability, they taught Emmy's adoptive parents a lesson. A beautiful, dark, divine beast, Camilla didn't understand why Arshian was staring at her like that. The reception hours were drawing to an end, so the Duke asked Arshian to escort the lady to the exit. Arshian told Camilla to look at what had happened to her. He asked what ghost she was helping this time. The girl did not understand what he was talking about. Everyone is talking about it. About Camilla fighting with Professor JB and getting badly hurt. Camilla was indeed injured, but the extent of the injuries was exaggerated. Moreover, she is already completely fine. Arshian said to call him next time, Camilla asked again, and he repeated the same thing again. The girl did not understand at all why him, but Arshian left. Camilla asked in horror if he wanted to explain. But the guy had already left. He was so weird. Emmy asked if she was done yet. Camilla asked if she had followed her here. After all, she had to go to another world. Emmy said that she had to say goodbye to her before leaving. From now on, Emmy will go to her dream. Now she has nothing to worry about. She will wander around the continent as much as she wants. In fact, she had long dreamed of traveling, especially through ancient abandoned territories. Emmy was grateful that she stopped her brother's crime and avenged her. She would never forget it. Camilla wished her a safe journey and hoped they would never meet again. Emmy said it was too much. The ghost promised that when she finished traveling, she would come to see her. Camilla told her that she did not have to come back. But if he does come back, then she will listen to stories from her trips, but only very briefly. A few days after those events, a reception was held to celebrate Duke Javelin's birthday. Camilla came with her father. The ladies were shocked that Camilla looked different. No one had ever noticed that she was so beautiful. The girl didn't want to come here, but the invitation was sent personally by the Duke, so she couldn't help but pay a visit. Moreover, she missed the right moment to refuse to attend this event, and both older brothers merged beautifully too. Her father told Camilla that the weather was wonderful today, but she decided to think positively. After all, it was great that she could spend more time with her father. But the reason she can't hold back a heavy sigh is that child, Elisa Javelin. Camilla thanked the Duke for the invitation. He greeted her because he was waiting. Pedro remarked that Mila's bowl was incredibly beautiful today. The girl was grateful for the compliment. Elisa ran up to Camilla and started hugging her, calling her sister. She missed her very much. It was funny for the main character, because in reality, that girl can't stand her. There is no other fox in the world that is so two-faced. She would be very suitable for Ravi's company. Duke Sephra has just arrived. Arxian hasn't come. Well, that's not surprising. He hates to cross paths with Pedro. Sephra was surprised that Camilla was there too. The girl in turn asked if he had been doing well all this time. Camilla hoped that Runa was doing well, and she was once again grateful for the help she had given last time. Jetty didn't understand why the two were pretending to be close. He went up to Camilla and asked her why she was pretending not to know him, but was happily greeting this boy. Duke Sorfel seemed more pleased to see his daughter than him. Javelin said that he was really the main character of the evening. Miss Camilla was literally surrounded by dukes. The guests were confused as to what was going on. The main character is used to such views. For her, a former actress, such interest is part of her life. Elisa suggested that her sister go and greet her friends. She asked her father if she could take her sister with her. Camilla asked her to stop because it was a birthday party and she should get a present. The girl congratulated the Duke once again and gave him a gift. When she opened it, the gentleman was shocked. Camilla said that the gift contains protective magic, so it will definitely protect him. The guests thought that this couldn't be true. It was impossible to fit magic formulas into such a small object. They say that the more powerful the magic formula, the bigger the magic stone should be. Everyone thought it was a fake, but Sephra guaranteed the quality, because he himself put the formula into this brooch. Sorfel asked if he had kept in touch with his daughter all this time. Sephra said that it was the child who had suggested the idea of creating a brooch from a magical stone. He is not bad at this issue, so she turned to him for advice. Duke Sorfel noted that this meant that he already knew that he too had received a gift. His brooch also contained a magical formula, and his daughter had personally pinned the eyebrow to his chest. The brooch was modeled after King's, but on her father's chest it looks a little childish. Camilla noted that they all shared the same hope that the people they loved would not suffer. She had not given him the brooch just like that, and not because she had a good attitude towards him. The girl actually had a good reason for ignoring her. Until now, he will become an advertising model for her brooch and pay for everything properly. Moreover, she gave the brooch to Rudville, so it will soon become an extremely popular item among young knights.